What is up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Things are, or I am a little bit late, but for some reason, computer rebooted, and it said that my installation was not correct. So I needed to run through everything, scan all the game files. Took a little bit, but I'm here. I'm here on my monk. And if you see, my badass monk is now level 120. I did it, guys. I did it. So we're at level 120. I'm also decently geared. I'm not the best geared, but I at least can do heroics. And I've done 2, I want to say. Also, another thing I've been working on a lot recently is the Brewmaster weak auras. So since last time you saw them, they have changed quite a bit, actually, as I've kind of I've had a few people test it out. Demon Hunter, if you're there today, thank you for testing out the weak auras for me yesterday. Of them now as well, and yeah, a few other things have changed, a few other things that I think are worth tracking or not worth tracking. Those things have kind of like gone around and changed, so a lot of changes to this whole Brewmaster thing, but I'm digging them. I definitely am digging them. I'm learning more and more how to be able to get the stagger to be as heavy as possible, especially with something like blackout combo. At first, I thought blackout combo just happened naturally. Like whenever I used Iron Skin Brew, the stagger was delayed for 3 seconds. And then it was like, oh no, wait, there's this buff associated with it. I need to use Blackout Strike first in order to empower my next ability. There's a lot more than I thought to it. But I'm learning more and more how to get a stagger going. And especially what I try to do more with this class is try to get the heaviest stagger I can. I want to delay as much as possible, build up that stagger as big as I can, and then just start purifying it. So that's kind of how I've been approaching the Brewmaster Monk. Unlike most trash pulls, I'm trying to get a heavy stagger by I just want as much damage to go into that pool of stagger as possible, and then be able to just purify, just erase it from the tables, pretend it never existed, pretend it never happened. All right, let me show you guys a little bit of like the weak auras. There's a few weak auras that I think are pretty cool as well, and then we can jump into a heroic. So let me just quickly show them off. So I was tracking Keg Smash here on the left hand side, but I'm also tracking it on the right hand side, so I decided no more tracking Keg Smash on the left. So on the left is now bigger cooldowns. We have meditation, fortifying, and actually transfer. And then over on the right hand side, I'm still tracking my uptime. If you guys see this little bar here on the left, I may get rid of that. I'm getting more used to the idea of blackout combo. But what this does is this is another bar that takes 3 seconds. And that's for if you blackout combo into an ISB, into an Iron Skin Brew, you get 3 seconds of delayed stagger. So I always was very interested in knowing how long those 3 seconds were and how things were going to stagger a little bit better. So I created this weak aura. It doesn't work only with blackout combo and ISB. It happens when you use your empowered ability. So if you blackout strike and use Keg Smash, this will still trigger for 3 seconds, which is why I'm considering getting rid of it. This is my stagger right here, which is no longer a big bar at the bottom. It no longer shows the actual value points. Health percentage is actually a little bit better to go off of, at least I think right now, because my health is constantly changing as I was leveling up, as I was gearing out. You know, this was always changing. And what's up, Epic? How you doing, my friend? And then I've got all the other weak auras. I've got healing elixirs here, fortifying, ISB here. This goes between Chi Wave and Chi Burst, depending on what you're spec'd into. These 3 will only appear if you're spec'd into them. And then this guy right here is Paralysis. Now, what this does, and I'll show you guys. What's up, Muhammad and Julia? How you guys doing? So what happens here is this tracks the cooldown of Paralysis But let me show you this. So you see paralysis it's just there, right? It's off cooldown, it's a full bar. But if I use paralysis, if it's active on a target, I don't even need to be targeting them, right? I'm not even targeting them. If it's active, it's glowing. So I'm not even targeting this person anymore. I can come over here, I can target this person, that person. It's still glowing. I'm active tanking over here, you know, doing my thing. It's still glowing because I have active CC still going out. So once I break that CC, this glow will disappear, and I don't even need to target the person. There it is. I broke the CC, the glow goes away, the cooldown's still being tracked. So that's one thing that I think is kind of neat, since as a tank having that CC is helpful, and thank you Demon Hunter for pointing it out that tracking paralysis would be nice. I figured this would be the best way of doing it. You just did your Brewmaster Monk Mage Tower. Nice, congrats. Congrats. The other things here to know is this is an HP bar. This button down here, what this does is it shows you Blackout Strike. It shows you its cooldown. But if you've already used a Blackout Strike, this combo aura checker comes up. So what this means is in normal combat, I'm tracking Blackout Strike. But as soon as I use it, and I have the ability to empower one of my abilities, this is glowing. It's letting me know that I have an empowered ability, whether I use ISB, Fortify and Brew, Breath of Fire, or Tiger Palm. This is going to be empowered. So then I use it, and you guys can see that the cooldown of Blackout Strike was already hiding behind it, ready to go. So that's kind of how I've been tracking things here with my Brewmaster Monk. So we'll jump into a heroic right now as well. If there's also something else you guys would like to see out of these weak auras, please let me know. I'm going to move these bars over to the left a little bit. They're a little too close to the middle right now. I want to move them over to the left a little bit, and then I think I'll be good to go. So I'll do that, you know, over the weekend. What's up, Demon Hunter? He's tough. He's just pretty bad at avoiding things. Oh, okay. Oh, he's not tough. Weird stuff. You didn't get notified? Oh, that is weird. We did go live later today, and that's just because I had a PC restart, and after my PC restarted, the BattleNet launcher said there was something funky with my installation, and it started scanning all my files, and that took a while. I wasn't expecting that to happen, so that took a little bit longer than usual. So yeah, it's with the PC restart, we are a little bit late. Is this? Oh, this is almost ready. Time left 1 day, but I can't join queue. Did I go over the stagger bar? Not yet, Matt. So the way I'm tracking stagger now is instead of a stagger bar, I'm using this icon right here. So let me show you guys. So if it's a light stagger, it's the green one. If it's a moderate stagger, it's the yellow one. And if it's a heavy stagger, it's red. What this percentage means is how much stagger is in your how much stagger is in your actual stagger pool in comparison to your total HP. So right now I have 126,000 HP. That means that 100% is 126. So that's how I'm tracking it now. I was tracking it by an actual amount in the lower end here, but since I was leveling up, 20k started, you know, when I first started creating my weak auras, 20k was moderate stagger. And then I hit like 117, I hit 118, 119. 20k didn't mean anything anymore. So I decided to go with percentage points based on your HP. Should post it on Discord when you get on live. Yeah, no problem. I can post this. I'd rather move these a little bit to the left, and I can do that right now. But if you guys want these right now, I can. But I'll let you know this. Next week, these weak auras are going up. So next week, I'm going to do a video about this and post my BfA weak auras slowly but surely through the classes. Monk is the one that I've worked on most recently, so I feel they're the most complete. Something else, most don't track relative stagger. Yeah, so this is tracking percentage point according to your HP. The one thing that was completely, absolutely inspired by Demon Hunter, I asked him to test out my weak auras yesterday. is this guy right here. So Matt, this is tracking of paralysis. So if you see here, look, I'm gonna taunt. You see my paralysis is being tracked, right? And it's on a full cooldown. It's off of cooldown right now. I can use it whenever I want. So when I use paralysis, it's glowing. That means I have an active CC out. I can cancel it. What I meant is I can not be targeting the target, right? I can target myself. I can target this mob over here. It's always glowing because my CC is actively out. So it doesn't matter where I go, what I'm clicking on, what I'm tanking over here. This CC is still actively out. So it's glowing. As soon as I break the CC, it stops glowing. But the cooldown is still being tracked. As soon as it's off of cooldown again, I can use it again and it'll be glowing. So yeah, I think that's pretty neat. So I think if I do that, I mean, my Breath of Fire broke it, but you saw it started glowing for a little bit. So yeah, that'll track your cooldown. I mean your CC, and you don't have to be targeting that CC. It doesn't need to be your focus target. It doesn't need to be anything special. It's just if your CC is currently up somewhere, it's glowing. It's as easy as Brewmaster Monk. I don't have a max level live Brewmaster Monk. Maybe it's your cell, maybe. Alright, so right now, let's get into a heroic. You guys can see we're going to queue up for a heroic here. And let's see how we do. Also, at this point, I am running Bob and Weave as well. So that's what I'm running right now. Bob and Weave, Blackout combo. Anything else is significant. I'm not running the Black Ox statue. I don't have any problems holding threat. And now that I said that, I'm probably going to have a ton of problems holding threat in this one. But with rushing Jadewind, I don't seem to have any problems holding threat. So we'll see how this goes. I haven't done the Mother Load on heroic yet. You have weak auras, but when the fight gets intense, they vanish. Alright, so I am starting to get a little bit more used to like using that blackout combo and getting a little bit better as far as like when it's gonna be up, how it affects my gameplay. So like right now I'm just gonna hold on to this blackout combo. Let me throw on another rushing Jadewind, run in here, ISB, and then another blackout combo to Breath of Fire, and then another blackout combo to another ISB. So I'm just kind of like delaying all that damage, right? Using that blackout combo plus ISB. Oh, this guy pulled this. Normally, yeah, I was gonna say normally the elites pull behind it, and there it is. So let's do this. Oh no, people are pulling a lot of things. Okay, now let's use our handy dandy paralysis tool here. So you can see also the Iron Skin Brew over here turned orange, and what that is if you pop another Iron Skin Brew right now, you're gonna overcap. And you don't want to overcap. One of the problems I'm having is, since I come from playing a warrior, for me overcapping shield block is not a possibility. It's just not a real thing. It doesn't exist. You only have 2 charges. You're not going to get that much higher. So a real thing that I was having difficulties with is seeing how much time my Iron Skin Brew had and not overcapping it, because I'm running light brewing. So since I'm running a light brewing, that's when I was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna, guys, really? This Mother Load is not going to be fun. I'll tell you that right now. We're already ninja pulling, you know, everything, and so it's gonna get really hectic. So you guys are gonna see some big pulls here. One other thing to notice is every time I was playing the other tanks, as soon as I hit 120 and I would start doing heroics and things like that, I was averaging about 6 to 8,000 damage taken per second, and my damage taken per second on this Brewmaster Monk is so low. What's up, Matney? How you doing? Alright, so yeah, this dungeon's not going to be very fun. We've got a group that likes to pull a lot of things. I guess that's better for us. We get to fully test out the extent of my skills or lack of on this Brewmaster Monk. Let's do this. I accidentally used paralysis there. That's what happens when you're a scrub at monk tanking. And let's delay that heavy stagger a little bit. Perfect. And then I'm going to cleanse it after this delay. There it is. So that's probably going to get pulled, but we'll have faith. Hey, oh no. Okay, so it was the hunter that was pulling everything. Let's see. Beth and party people, what's up, Roy? How you doing, my friend? On my undead monk, yup. Oh wow, he didn't pull anything. I'm surprised. The more you tried guard, the more you really felt meh. Yeah. Now that I'm getting used to blackout combo, guard, guard was my crutch, right? Coming from a warrior, guard was like a bubble. Really, guy? Like, this is why we're pulling. Look at this. Oh man. Alright, this is gonna be a fun run. Okay, so let's start delaying that stagger a little bit more and a little bit more. All those non-elites are down now. I'm just gonna purify. It wasn't a big purify. I would think I was at like 25% stagger. So no big deal, but might as well. The damage isn't gonna go up too much higher. These peacekeepers spend a lot of time casting, and the only thing that really hurts is that when they have their charge claw up, which is right now. So when they don't have that up, they're no big deal. Okay, so we're gonna run in here. There's a mech jockey in here. Where is he? There he is. Let's do this. A little bit of healing. I'm like at 60%. So I do have leg sweep and paralysis to be able to interrupt this guy in terms of him trying to get into his mech. But it looks like right now I'm pretty sure it's a bug, but most of them just try to get in once. So let's also get a purifying here. I was at about 60% stagger there. So what I'm gonna do here is actually paralysis the mech jockey and then do this. Alright, so I don't need to do too much in terms of heavy stagger right now. This refreshment dude kind of targets whoever he wants. And then the laborers, they're non-elites, so I should be okay. I can save up, you know, my charges. But if you see my damage taken, it's not very high at all. So that's one thing that I've really you know, like so far about this guy. So yeah, kind of doing the delay stagger right now. I don't want to overcap the ISB, so right now I need to be careful. Let's do one more. There, let's purify it off. I thought I'm not right now. I'll still look at my weak auras a little bit more than like looking at what I'm actively tanking, which I'm working on. I'm trying to get more and more used to this. So let's do this. Don't want to overcap the ISB. Let's purify this. But you guys see my damage taken. I'm taking 5k damage taken per second. Normally when I would jump into heroics on a fresh 120, I was taking about 7k. The AoE taunt is nice with the statue, but it can pull things you don't need. Yeah, you need to get very used to its range. The AoE statue, I don't feel a need for it yet, though. You're so used to looking at the default action bar? Oh, no. Let's do this, and let's do this. What? That went right through him? Oh, no, it actually did hit him. Alright. Let's do that. I need to walk him away from that. No, you need to get away, man. You need to get away from there. Coin magnet. He got him anyway. He didn't move. He didn't listen to me. He got stuck there. So this point is going to be really important. I heavy stagger because of that whole coin thing that he did. he's gonna increase his damage by a lot. So let me get this guy really close to where this guy is, just so we can actually hit him with those, right? Coin magnet again. He seems to be casting it a little bit faster this time, a little bit sooner. Watching your food for sure. Might give heavy stagger for Mythic Plus. Yeah. So far, I'm liking this. The bob and weave is also kind of like smoothing out my damage a little bit more. So I'm running bob and weave right now. I'm digging it. See, try and blackout combo. Once you get it, you cannot get it back. Yeah, I'm digging the blackout combo, Roy. It makes for more engaging. Yes. Thinking about the combos beforehand is definitely fun, because every now and then, even though I'm running light brewing, and this might be a me problem, right? This might be a learn how to monk tank right now, but I'm running light brewing, and even then, sometimes I'll start running a little bit low on charges of purifying and ISB, and so at that point, it's like, hey, you know what? I want to blackout combo into a keg smash because I want to reduce the time on my next charge. Oh, guys, really? Look at this. I'm telling you guys, this hunter's on a good one today. Monks don't die, remember that? I have. Yesterday I was running heroic freehold, and I did die. I mean, it might have something to do with the healer DCing halfway through, but still, it happened. What's up, Frog Barrel? How you been? It's been a while, Frog Barrel. Alright, so again, let's get another blackout combo here and another ISB to delay that stagger a little bit. I want it to become a heavier stagger than it is. There it is. I'm going to purify that. That was a nice 24% purify. Not bad. Again, these guys, the Earth Shapers, if you guys remember on my Warrior, they were two-shotting me in Mythic Plus because these Earth Shapers cast Rock Lance, and that hurts like hell. So these guys, they're gonna hurt if you don't cancel their cast, and not even just necessarily cancel their cast, but either cancel or stun them out of it. All right, so let's pull these guys. I think if we try to skip these guys, I feel like the group might pull them, so I might as well just get the pull in myself, even though these guys are not the easier pull. So we've got one Earth Shaper here. I did delay him a little bit by interrupting him. So let's throw that out, get some more ISB going. We've got a good charge of ISB right now, so let's purify that. That was about 20%. Not bad. Thanks for the sub, by the way. I appreciate it. It looks like gravity can kill your monk. What? Wait, what? Did we get another pull? Oh no. Okay. It's Roy. And that your damage intake per second is lower is entirely normal, monks. Right, yeah. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying monks are strong. Damage taken is lower than other tanks. And also considering I'm new to monks, like it's all pointing to a very strong tanking class. That's the point I'm trying to make. My damage taken is lower, it's smoother. If I wanted to run healing elixir, I could be, and even be making having decent healing per second, or decent healing. It's not amazing, but you know, there's a lot of things you can do. One thing that I'm learning to like more and more with this monk is the fact that you can actually change things around. Like it isn't just one build. You have a variety of different builds for the monk. And I'm digging that. But yeah, depending on the pull, that's how I, you know, determine if I'm going to purify or not. Like in this one, I don't really even need ISB up for these guys. Look at that. I had like 3 seconds of ISB. That's all I needed. What's up, nerds? How you doing, man? I'm a hard streamer to catch on EU. I'm sorry. There might be more stream times coming up sometime, but I know when BfA launches, I'm going to be busy streaming a lot more of that. So I don't know like what times are really going to fit everything else in terms of like all of my scheduling and what I have to work around. But there's definitely going to be more times added when that BfA launches. So I'm delaying the stagger a little bit. Let's start purifying that. I delayed it up to 80, and yeah, let's delay one more time. I can also hit that keg smash. It's delayed. I'm gonna purify this. Not a bad turnout for that heavy stagger. Let me do a what I did there was a blackout combo into keg smash because I just wanted the charge. So now my stagger's at 9%. Alright, we're good. So I'm still taking, you know, heavier damage. I'm sitting at 5.8k damage taken per second, so it's not terrible. But I do manage to get low sometimes, but that's just because my gear is very low even for heroics. Heroics drop 325. I'm sitting at 307, so I'm about 20 item levels below. Bob and Weave is extremely OP. It's like a legendary ring. You get 10k hit. Yeah. Bob and Weave, it's just a little bit more smooth. Now, I think, I don't know if it's the end-all be-all for that talent row it's in, but it's definitely a very, very strong, very strong choice. So those guys were not staggered in, or were not all together, so it's hard for me to run in there and leg sweep them. So I'm just going to stick to aiming this guy away from everyone, since that should be what I do anyway. This tectonic smash shouldn't be hitting anyone. That guy decided to walk in front of the boss. Not much I can do. So let's, just gonna keep my blackout combo going a little bit here. And I'll do an ISB after that lands because he wasn't auto attacking me during that moment. Let's also get my charges back up a little bit. Sidestep that. Let's get a little purify going. I got up to 25%. It's not a big deal getting up to 25%, but this boss doesn't have a lot of target, a lot of tank specific damage. So by delaying the blackout combo a little bit, oh no, the tectonic smash, let's sidestep that, and then let's do this for the stagger. Got my ISB, and again, this guy, you know, he's busy kind of casting. He's not doing too much in the area of like just beating me up all the time. Haste verse instead of crit haste. Yes, thank you. Streaming vets are returning. Gives you more time to purify and healers to do their part. Yes. Yes, it does. So if going by the last stream and this, the new tank is Brewmaster. Damn the poll. Not yet. Here's the link to the poll again. You guys can vote still. Haven't caught the stream in a while. Great new vids on the channel. Cool. Thank you, Frog. Thank you. Did somebody die? Oh, almost. Okay. Let's go this way. Even though we're probably going to have a ninja pull on the group next to me. One thing I've noticed about monks is I can't do it comfortably yet to the point where I'm like, hey, let me just not stare at the screen. I'll try. Am I going to main monk? No, but it's, so I'm going to have 2 tanking classes, and monk is probably going to be one of them. Not going to lie to you guys. Oh, hey, we did get an extra ninja pull. That's why I'm dying. Alright, gonna try to delay that stagger a little bit more and delay it just a little bit more. Hopefully it gets to heavy stagger. It didn't, but let's just purify it anyway. Look at that! What? How did we pull that much more? There's only one group that's close to us. That means that they pulled what's all the way across as well. Oh man, okay, we got a heavy stagger going. We got another delay going. And let's purify that. So at this point, I'm going to blackout combo into... You guys saw that? 101%? That's ridiculous. Is everyone still alive here? I don't know if my healer's still alive. I'm trying to blackout combo into the keg smashes at this point to kind of get my charges back up, but... Man... That was 4 groups. Okay, so we pulled a group that was behind here, the group that was here, and a pat maybe. That was Jeez. Alright, so yeah, at that point I was taking more damage taken per second than normal. I was sitting at 8.4, but you guys saw that pull was a lot of ridiculous. So with these test subjects, I do want to get them down before we go to the next pull, because the next pull can buff him. Monks are weak in toolkit, but their gimmick is the simple fact that they cannot be spiked. Yep, that's definitely what it looks like. Oh god, really? That's how we're pulling everything with chain lightning? It doesn't help that these mobs sometimes reset depending on where they're standing. You see those evades? Oh man, that's not going to help this pull at all. So now I'm gonna blackout combo the keg smashes. Here's an ISB. Here's a keg smash. I can purify this off a little bit. I was sitting at like 40-something%. Oh man, look at this. This is as bad as it gets, guys. This is a rip key. It's gonna be the second main, you hope? Yeah. So let's get a keg smash going here. Let's purify that a little bit. Next stream will be pre-patch. I actually finally did the Burning Teldrassil scenario on PTR last night. I didn't finish it. I got the beginning done because I thought I needed it to unlock a portal on one of my characters, and I was like, oh man, really? I need to start going through this, but I did part of it. You don't like being a tank without self-decent heals? You can pick up Healing Elixir instead of Bob and Weave. Bob and Weave is better for damage taken, like constant damage taken, as opposed to spiky. It helps you smooth everything out just a little bit more than usual, than you already do by being a monk. Like just the fact of being a monk gets you to have smooth damage taken per second, but you don't necessarily, you can make do with Healing Elixir. I was running Healing Elixir before this, and definitely if you're pugging a lot and your tanks, I mean your healers don't really know how to keep you up or anything like that, Healing Elixir has a short enough cooldown and it heals enough, 15% per charge. So why? Look at this. Look. Oh man. You have tested high tolerance to purify more stagger. I have not tested high tolerance. The way that I'm getting really big staggers right now is by running that blackout combo and by getting the pause to stagger. So like right now, look, I pause stagger. You see this green bar next to the yellow one? That tells me how long it's paused for, right? So this is all paused. That's about as heavy as it's gonna get. I'll purify it as soon as it's done. So I'll build up like 3 or 4 charges. I'll blackout combo 3 or maybe like 2 or 3 ISBs back to back, and then I'll run in there and do my thing. Okay, let's see how this pull goes. This pull is a lot of magic damage, so I need to be careful. I just threw out a leg sweep, and let's do this. I'm gonna pop my fortifying because this is the worst pull in this dungeon. So let's do this. You guys can see I've had ISB up the whole time. I barely even got to a moderate stagger. So yeah, this pull is one of those. There it is. I finally got to a moderate stagger. Let's purify a little bit of that. But it's a lot of magic damage, which is just going to be, you know, the worst thing you can do to most tanks now. Only DK tanks are going to be like, magic damage? It's fine. AMS. AMS is cool. Or my death strikes, the healing I do through them, they don't care what kind of damage I took. Okay, let's do this. Let's pull this. So let's get a blackout combo going as well. I don't want to step out of here if I don't have to. This one also doesn't do heavy tank damage because she's busy casting half the time. So just kind of build up your ISBs when you are active tanking her. But even then, you can probably make do with having a few like tiny spots in, or a few gaps, especially when she's starting to do the propellant charge, which is going to happen soon. So I'm not going to build up another ISB right now. There it is. Right now, she's not hitting me anymore. There's no more auto attacks coming from her. She's gonna do like 3 propellant charges. I think it's 3. Let's see. Oh, I guess it's just 2. Okay, so I popped another ISB there. But yeah, she doesn't spend a lot of time auto attacking, so my stagger's probably not gonna get too heavy. So on things where it doesn't get too heavy and it's just a one fight thing, what I'll do is I'll probably start purifying in the low 20s, but you know, low 20 percentages, but you know, that wasn't too bad. Why the healer just ran? Oh man, this group, guys. Oh man, that pug life is coming into full effect in this group. And sorry guys, I'll catch up with you guys in the chat right after. There's just a lot of ninja pulling this group. Even in the beta, never forget, have I tested high tolerance? Yeah, I need to test high tolerance still. The way that I'm getting those high staggers again is just that blackout combo. Okay, let's do this. I don't want to pull these mines yet. If I can pull those mines separate so that the healer can dedicate all his attention into healing whoever gets hit by the mines, it'd be better. But, you know, we'll probably end up running into a lot more mines than we need to. Brewmaster has a lot of tools and nice synergies. You like them a lot? Yeah, I'm digging them. I didn't think I would like them that much. That's what I was saying last live stream, and I was like, you know what? I shouldn't, you know, hold my breath maybe at 120. They're going to be terrible or something like that. But no, they're doing really good. Here's one mine being pulled. You're starting to be torn here. You can make and level up Zunlari Druid or change to a monk. You want to do it? You just want to do it all for BfA? Yeah, yeah. Also, as a monk, you don't get hit as hard with the global cooldown changes. It's just not something you really are worried about, because your main ability, the main concern that you have as a Brewmaster monk is your stagger. And your stagger is not on the global cooldown. ISB is not on the global cooldown. So you have that going for you. Like the global cooldown changes don't really affect you. You're about as affected as you were beforehand. High tolerance is nearly never worth it. It's a high risk that only worth it for a boss. Haste is unreliable. Haste is going to be lower as well this expansion because there's no secondary stats on Azurite gear. So that might have some influence as well. He missed this and more in Legion, but we told him, yeah, it's true. My co-tank was on a Paladin, but he had one of every tanking class. And he saw me leveling up my monk at one point, and he's like, are you going to take that to 110? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. Right now I'm just kind of having some fun leveling. And he was like, if you take it to 110, you're really going to like it. Like I think you're really going to dig their systems in terms of mitigating damage and what they do. And I was like, oh, maybe, but never did. Never did. Now I need to finish leveling up that Tauren, so we can avoid all of these mines if we just walk through them. Alright, everybody, carefully, everybody with me. But yeah, this is really cool. I'm a sucker for the light brewing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I know that running Black Ox combo is the sign of a pro. Light brewing does it for me. You heard the intent of Blizzard tank design is to streamline them in performance. Warriors and monks are buffed, DK's DH are brought down. They never listen, kids these days. It's true. It's true. I don't listen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, Mr. Hunter, you've been pulling all dungeon. You got this bomb on you. Here you go, my friend. And there you go. Oh, and somebody died. Cool. Oh, was it him? Oh, yeah. The hunter who's been pulling all day died. Cool. You should sneakily spec change to heal so the druid tank has to keep... the druid hasn't been the one that's pulling the whole time. It's really been the hunter. Okay, so let's run in here. This is going to be one of those pulls that's also a nightmare. So I'm just going to target the technician. He's my main focus because of this repair. Repair can't be interrupted. You have to stun them out of it. But the other one that can be interrupted that you need to watch out for is overcharge. So we'll keep an eye out for that, because if that goes out, I need to interrupt it. There's a repair. Oh no, I don't have my stun anymore. So let's purify that. I was getting up to in like the 60s. Let's purify that. The pull's over. Not bad. 2.2 damage taken per second. Guys, monks, really? What's up, Katie? How you doing? The tank's fault on those ninja pulls? Yeah, it was all me. Okay, so everybody's here. We're at the end of the dungeon. I've got 2 charges of bruise up, but if at this point, if I prioritize blackout combo into my keg smash, I'll eventually just kind of get my charges back. So we've got, okay, so let me go over here. I also really like the mobility on a monk. That's like a big one for me when I'm choosing a tanking class, is do they have mobility? Because as a warrior, I feel like I'm just heroic leaping, charging around everywhere. Like if there's new ads that come out, I always have a charge or a heroic leap. I move around like a crazy person. But when there's a tanking class that doesn't have that much mobility, it just doesn't do it for me. Like sure, as a druid you can get your mobility by having wild charge. It's only 1 charge of it though, and then the worst part about it though is if you do want to run fast, you gotta shift into cat form, and if you take a hit in cat form, GG. GG, well played. Alright, so we've got like these guys here, and that's fine. Oh hey, Mr. Hunter, you gotta stand on the bombs. Nice! People standing on the bombs. Also, it's super comfortable and fun. Black Ox Brew is a pro way, don't sweat it. It performs identical to Light Brew and has advantages in clutch situations. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming that you know, the thing with Blackout combo is it's on demand, right? And that's what makes it better. The fact that you get to pick and choose when you're gonna get these extra charges, while Light Brewing is extra charges constantly. And it's just not, also the energy, I still haven't gotten used to like, hey, I need to not be sitting at 100% energy all the time. Like I realize that my energy is sitting at 100%. Could be the global cooldown changes because I'm trying to keep rushing Jade Wind up. I'm trying to cycle through my combo. I don't always Tiger Palm. You know, Tiger Palming is not my priority. So yeah, that was a heroic, and I'm 20 item levels below. What was this? Oh, that was the same item level. Oh, got a rune. I mean, how painless was that process? You guys remember when I was on like my paladin before the blocking changes, on my warrior the first time around? Like this was so painless. I'm trying to find a mailbox because apparently I have mail. You're very bad at avoiding stuffs. What did we get? Oh, just mats. Oh, Epic, he's asking if you use the Black Ox. How do I think Frost Mages look in BfA Feral Druid? I haven't tried Frost Mages too much. I tried Fire Mages at one point, but I haven't tried Frost. I did play a little bit of Frost in Legion, but never in any like competitive way. I leveled one up and I started trying to get legendaries, dropped them. You see some nasty pulls? Yeah, that was pretty bad. You're starting to be torn. Yeah, nerds, I'm telling you, these monks are pretty good. I can try out High Tolerance, but I feel like High Tolerance, you know, 10% more effectiveness in Stagger, or the Blackout combo where I get to control it, because I want Stagger to get built up really high, and it's easy to build it up high when I'm going into a trash pool that I know is like full physical, or I know like how many mobs are in there, how hard they hit. The Blackout combo lets me do that a little bit more, and you guys saw there, I think I built up a decent high Stagger. I want to say like 3 times. I know once I built up like a 104% with the Earth Shapers. Those Earth Shapers hit hard as hell. But when you purify, like right now I have 120k HP, right? So purifying a 100%, that means I get rid of like 63k damage, purifying 63k. So yeah, I think Blackout combo is my preferred way of playing. You just saw the cat pulling something the whole time? Guys, I'm telling you. And what's up, Deep? How you doing, man? Do I plan on making a community for BfA? Yes, nerds. Yes, I do. Too much moving and packing your body aches? Yeah, it's gonna get real tiring. You'll get the skill in your talent tree? What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? Oh yeah, performance in Mythic Pluses and Raids, yes. So in BfA, it's looking like each tank kind of has its thing that it's really good at. Brewmaster Monk is just gonna be really good at anything progression. I think that's why. So I looked at the replay the other day. You guys were telling me about the Brewmaster Monk doing a +16 in the beta. Brewmaster Monks are just going to be really good for that progression. Brewmaster Monks are going to be really good for, hey, normally with most tanks or with every other tank, these abilities here would one-shot them. They would just get one shot. On a Brewmaster Monk, you know, you pop ISB, you're staggering 70-something%. So while most other tanks would get one shot, a lot of that's going to go to your stagger, and then hopefully you can purify it. If not, hopefully you can live long enough for everybody to DPS things down. Maybe the healer might go because you have such a big effective health pool. But like monks are going to be really good for that progression content. Once you have things on farm, monks are they kind of fall off, because once you have things on farm, you're over geared. You don't want to be purifying a 10% stagger. It's not what you want to do with your life. So progression content, monks are going to be the go-to. And then in terms of like raid content, you're always going to have like those things that hit you really hard as a tank. So I think for raids, monks are always going to have a place as long as they still have stagger. Hey man, first time you get a Friday off in a long time. Glad to see I'm still tearing it up. Yeah, team. Yeah, Deep. I don't know why I said team. Yeah, Deep. We're here, man. We're here, kicking ass and taking names. I want to get this Brewmaster Monk geared up for Mythics, so that might be. We're gonna try to get some gear today. But the actual Mythics, I'm 33 item levels below what drops in Mythic Zeros, so I still got a little bit of farming before I feel comfortable jumping into a Mythic Zero dungeon. And those 70% are 1/13th per second of you then. You literally cannot be spiked, yeah. In Legion currently, if you blackout combo into Iron Brew twice and Purify, you mitigate up to 63% more damage than High Tolerance. The Purifies are much bigger. What I've been seeing too is, so I've been doing more spreadsheets to calculate certain things, right? I want to do the actual math on Fireblood. Because I don't think people see how heavy it's going to impact. So I'm trying to do the math on Fireblood, and then I started thinking about the math for monks, and I feel really bad for the people out there that are like professional level theory crafters for Brewmaster monks. That's crazy. It's crazy. You're balancing out two HP pools, kind of. You're balancing out your actual health pool, and it gets hit by a certain percentage point, and then you're balancing out this other pool that's kind of like a dot on you, like a really big dot on you that starts building up as well at a different rate than what your regular HP pool gets hit at. And then you have the purification process, which takes that dot you have on you, cuts it in half, throws half of it away, and then keeps half ticking on you. It's intense. I feel really bad for those theory crafters on the Brewmaster Monk. So I went back to leveling my monk to live after this? Not yet. What's my pre-patch plan? I probably won't be playing the pre-patch too much, to be completely honest with you. I still have to level up the Vengeance Demon Hunter and gear it up for Mythic Zeros for you guys. And then put out the tanking class list that I'm going to be and it won't be, you know, it's not Feely Craft, it's just what is actually going on. So let me taunt off. Hopefully everybody stands over here. That's where everybody wants to stand. Cool. That's fine. So yeah, I think my pre-patch plan, I probably won't be playing too much. My plan right now is to just keep preparing more and more for BfA. So right now, like, I'm also starting to finish up my weak auras for every class. Something else I'm doing for every single class right now, or for everything, is I'm slowly starting to build up the dungeon guides. So if you guys have access to early access via Patreon or sponsorship with the channel, you guys have seen the first one. So I'm starting to build those up as well. So I'm finishing up my weak auras, finishing up the dungeon guides, and those dungeon guides are going to take a lot of time because I'm doing the dungeon guides for normal, heroic, and mythic. So yeah, I'm honestly probably not going to play too much pre-patch, unfortunately. There's just too much to do in the 1 month that's left before BfA launches. I want all of the dungeon guides to be done by day 1. Bare minimum, I want the boss guides to be done. Maybe not the Mythic Plus pulls and strategy ones. Those may or may not all be done. Those are the only ones that, like, I don't know if I can get all of that done in a month. That was a very quick heroic. But yeah, doing all my weak auras, finishing those off. I haven't done any druid ones, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I played a druid, I was like, cool, just do things, right? Mangle, Iron Fur, Frenzied Regen if you get hit too hard. But you know, I still need to do like the druid ones. Let me show you guys a little bit of what's behind the scenes. So this is the monk ones. I'm like 90% comfortable with this. I need to move these bars over to the left a little bit. Maybe these bars a little down, but these are just cooldowns. I don't think they necessarily need to be moved down. Moving this to the left means I need to move this icon to the left a little bit, and then that'll be that for the monk ones. I've got prop pally ones. I need to fix this consecrate one, and maybe put up charges of hammers somewhere here as well. And then I've got my blood DK ones, and my blood DK ones, I need to increase the size of these bars on the side as well. Maybe be tracking a few more things. I like my Death Strike weak aura. And then my warrior ones, probably increase the size of these guys, move this guy over a little bit. So a lot of small work needs to be done. For the warrior, I also want to put an HP bar down here as well, something that I don't typically have. What's up, Loculas? How you doing? So yeah, that's kind of, this is almost done. I want to get your guys' input here. So there's a lot of people here that play Brewmaster Monk. I want to get your input on this. Monk calcing is sick. Now imagine how stupid it can get once you see the order of how buffs, debuffs work with it to get the right numbers. Yeah, Roy. I was doing a little bit of how damage is taken. Not that well when I did the blocking video. I was kind of looking at things. It's really weird. It's really weird how you take numbers. Okay, so I've got my weak auras here, guys, right? So I've got my ISB here. When I get blackout combo, when I have that aura, when I pop ISB, I get this 3-second window of the pause to stagger, right? If I get my ISB and still pop Breath of Fire, I still get that. There's no way of making it pop only for ISB. Do you guys think I should keep this 3-second window here so you guys can track how long stagger is paused, or should I remove that little window there, this little green window, because it can happen with a Tiger Palm, because it can happen with a Breath of Fire? Do you guys like this 3-second window that shows you how that stagger is being paused, or do you guys feel like since it can trigger off of anything else, it's no good? What do you guys think? It's this little green window here. You're guessing I play... Oh, Roy, that Roy plays Brewmaster on live? You main a Protection Warrior, the only tank that feels like one. But you like tanking in general, you play them all. Nice. Do not think the monk tank need a better self-healing. Luciolas, you can pick up a self-healing. So let me move this weak aura over here. If you pick up Healing Elixir instead of Bob and Weave like I'm running it, Healing Elixir is a very good self-heal. So they have the ability to have self-healing, and it's right there. So if you're running a monk and you just feel like you need that healing for your own self-sustain, because I think Legion as a whole, as an expansion, got us used to the idea of being self-sustained tanks. I think Legion got us very spoiled in terms of like seeing, hey, you know what? I need to be able to heal myself. I need to be able to tank. I need to be able to mitigate. I need to be able to do all of this by myself. And I don't think it's necessarily, I don't think you need it, because in a dungeon you're always going to have a healer with you. So I don't think you need to run healing elixir, but you can. It's a very good option. 15%, and it's a 30-second recharge. That's really, really good. We're talking about 1% per second. Do I post my weak auras to Wago? I don't yet, Matt, but I want to. So for Legion, I created my weak auras once Legion was live. I didn't play a lot of WoD. I honestly didn't play a lot of MoP and WoD. So the little bit that I did play in MoP and WoD, I was very casual. I did a little bit of like heroic dungeons. I did mostly PvP. So just PvP and very casual dungeons. I haven't been hardcore into this game like I was in Legion since Wrath of the Lich King. So Wrath of the Lich King and on the beginning of Kata, I was very hardcore. And then I took a really long break where I just became a filthy casual. No big deal. And then I came back in Legion, so I wasn't used to having all these weak auras and doing all this myself. So for Legion, I put them up really late. I know that I made my weak auras really, really late. So this time I'm trying to get the jump on it, but I want to post them all to Wago. So posting all like my screenshots, doing all that great stuff, I'm going to be doing that. You love my weak auras as they are? Nice, thank you. You think if it's showing even when stagger is not paused, it's a bit misleading? There has to be some Lua coding. Matt, I've looked everywhere. The thing is, when you build up your so since I'm running combo, right? I get this aura buff, right? Blackout combo here. The problem with coding this is that as soon as I hit the ability that's going to be empowered, let's say I hit Breath of Fire, right? I hit Breath. The buff of blackout combo disappears a little bit before my Breath of Fire actually goes off. In the combat log, it doesn't happen in the same instant. So weak auras try to track things that happen at the same instant. So since they don't happen in the same instant, you can only track when blackout combo leaves. So it's really difficult. Like I looked it up yesterday too to see if anyone at any moment has made this work, and all I kept seeing was threads of people saying, yeah, we don't get it, it doesn't work, you just kind of have to track your blackout combo your own way. And blackout combo doesn't make you cast a different spell ID that's like empowered Keg Smash, empowered Breath of Fire. It's the same exact spell ID. It just in the back end in their system they know it's empowered. So it's really weird, and I understand. I think I agree that it's misleading if you know you don't hit your ISB after that. What I might do is actually put out 2 different packages, one that has it, one that doesn't, for your whatever your playstyle is. But I'm really digging it for when I use ISB, but when I don't use ISB, being the creator of it, like I know, you know, I can ignore it right now. Little known fun fact, stagger cannot kill you. Yeah, I found that out yesterday, Roy. I was beating up target dummies, trying to get my weak auras all set up, right? Because they pop out only during combat. So I was trying to get things working, beating up target dummies, and at one point I ran away from a dummy during a moderate stagger, and I went down to 1%, and I was like, oh god, Vivify, Vivify, Vivify! And I didn't get my cast off in time, and I noticed that it was still ticking on me at 1%. Like, I'd get natural HP regen, and then I'd tick back down to 1%, and I was like, oh, I guess I can't die to stagger. Compare it to your current weak auras you took from Wago. Yours are more detailed. Oh, nice. What am I wanting a weak aura for? Jisung, that's what I want it for. Or Jisung, are you SSG? I think so, right? I want a weak aura that tells me when my stagger is being paused, right? So I've got blackout combo. So if I have the blackout combo aura buff on me, if I follow it up with an ISB, I pause stagger for 3 seconds. So sometimes what I try to do is if I'm doing a really big pull in a heroic or something like that, I'll run in, I'll throw on my ISB, and I'll have my pause stagger. Now, Blackout Strike also has a 3-second cooldown, so I want to just chain 3 of them. I want to get a really heavy stagger going. So I'll throw on Blackout Combo, ISB, blackout combo, ISB, blackout combo, ISB. That's 3 of them back to back, and I build up a super heavy stagger to purify it. But that's I want this to tell me only when stagger is paused as a result of blackout combo, and I don't think that exists. I don't think it does. You can't die from stagger, but you can do that in a fight, because then you'd fall over. Yes, yeah. There might not be a way around that. Yeah, I tried, Matt. I tried. I was trying to... What I was originally trying to do is have something like this. So this glows when you have the blackout combo weak aura. And then what I was trying to do was have an icon here that just quickly faded in and out, that let you know which empowered ability you used. So let's say I had blackout combo. I hit ISB and Keg Smash, what I think is at the same time, and I'm wondering which one I used. If Keg Smash went off like, you know, a quarter of a second before, Keg Smash would fade in and out right here. It would just flash really quick in the middle, or ISB would. So that's what I was trying to do originally, but I couldn't get it to work. But now imagine what you can do with stagger. Yeah. How does a 900 monk tank feel in a mythic plus 19? I don't know. I don't know. Is there a way to have it not tied to a blackout combo, just track of combat damage is being staggered? Yeah, but the thing is, damage is being staggered. There is damage in your stagger pool. It's just not ticking on you. And you can't say, hey, I only want to know if I'm taking damage, because you're still taking the portion of damage that's not being staggered. Does that make sense? So you're still taking a little bit of damage, the non-staggered amount. It's weird. It's definitely weird. It's like, hey monks, why are you so weird? Stop being weird, monks. Okay, so let's see what door opens up. I think it's the door behind me. That's the one that's been opening up most of this. Yeah, okay. Mostly just play Brewmaster a lot and get used to the timing of it. Yeah, that's what I was just kind of thinking. Like right now I'm getting used to the timing of it, especially because Blackout Strike is on a 3-second cooldown. So theoretically, if you're just Blackout Striking an ISB and that's your priority, then you're doing the stagger pause. Like, you don't have to think about it too much, you're already doing it. But I'd rather a visual representation of what gets used. But yeah, I don't have like holding aggro. I don't have problems holding aggro to the point where I would need to run statue. Rushing Jadewind seems to do the trick for me. You main a Brewmaster Monk in CM carries, but in Legion you just dropped it because it was boring outside of Transcendence pulls. I also like to pull this whole room just because this boss has a debuff that is an AoE around you, and you guys will see it. And a lot of times people will freak out and start running around the whole room crazy, and they'll end up pulling this pack. And while this pack itself isn't the most difficult pack, in the middle of the boss pull, it gets a little deadly. Alright, so that was a decent purify. That was like a good 23% purify. Am I liking Brewmaster? Yes, I am digging Brewmaster a lot. Okay, so everybody's here. Oh hunters, how I'm glad every hunter waits patiently for the tank to pull. I was trying to figure out where my group was. I look over to the left, Brewmaster Monk pulled, and of course he gets CC'd. That's what you get, Brewmaster Monk. I mean, not Brewmaster. That's what you get, hunter. Right now, I'm gonna be doing the blackout comboed keg smashes. Mostly, see, this is the dot I'm telling you guys about. So a lot of times you'll get this thing, and you'll see people start freaking out and running around all over the place. Pull one of the bosses. So I want to prioritize that keg smash right now. I want to be able to have enough charges to keep this going. I believe this is the one that's up next. Yeah, okay. right. So we're sitting comfortably at like a good between 50 to 60%. And there it is, starting to get picked up now. But my damage taken per second, very, very low. I mean, we're talking 3k. So yeah, Brewmaster monks. Brewmaster monks can get it, guys. Brewmaster monks are like... It's insane how little damage I'm taking. And I haven't been purifying that much because there's... most of this damage is group-wide as opposed to just me. And the thing that is me is a lot of magic damage. Wait, what? I didn't even see that we had killed the last one. You max out the stagger and then kite while stagger ticks out, and your heal can top off. It sounds nasty, but monks are hella good at it, even in BfA. Nice. By the way, you think that weak aura is not necessary. You do your combo, global cooldown starts. Next combo, global cooldown 3 seconds. Yeah, it's a 3-second thing, but I think it was more of like as a nub for me. I was like, I really want to know. Oh, there it is. Hey, they weren't glowing, but there's still loot there. Okay. What is the most fun tank so far? In terms of like fun, the playstyle, I really like Demon Hunter tanks because they just run in. Everything with the Demon Hunter tank is offensive. The only thing that really isn't is like casting, maybe like casting chains, and even then chains lets you cleave better. I guess demon spikes is the only thing that isn't really offensive. But yeah, with the Demon Hunter, everything you do is like just trying to destroy your target. You're just in there doing damage and casually tanking on the side. That's what makes Demon Hunters really, really fun. So in terms of fun, Demon Hunters, they also have a lot of really good mobility. They jump around everywhere. Every time you do an Infernal Strike, you do like a little temporary meta, so the animations just look cool. You just feel like a monster. Also really good self-healing, so that also really helps out. The fact that they're also really solid tanks. They just want their DPS on the top for a split second. What? How did we pull those guys? Huh. I don't know how we pulled those guys, but that's fine. We'll keep them here. Let's get another ISB going. And we're going to get a decent Purify. There it is. Good old 30% Purify. Not bad. Let's also get a Keg Smash. Another decent Purify there. Build up another charge, get some ISB going. Nice. A lot of this is magic damage as well. They're doing a thing called like Shadow Cleave, which I believe is all magic damage. Alright, let's get a stun going on him. Kite a little bit. Oh hey, I have 3 hunters in this dungeon. Hard to say, depends on your playstyle. Yeah, I'm really digging the Demon Hunter for tanking just because it is so like offensive. It's like you run in there and you just hit things and you're kind of tanky. You throw on your demon spikes, you're good. Your soul cleave and your spirit bomb are part of your offensive kit. They're part of your cleaving, but they're also really, really good at healing you. Alright, let's pull this. Chains is good. You like chains? Yeah, chains is good. Chains is fun. I wish chains had a slightly shorter cooldown, but it doesn't. Either way, it's still good. This guy DC'd. Let's do this. Get someone else in here. Yeah, those shadow cleaves. They do a lot of damage. There's a nice heavy stagger there. Let's go ahead and pause this stagger. And let's cleanse that. I also want to blackout combo the Keg Smashes now to kind of build up my charges. And then let's do the Expel Harm a little bit. Okay, we're good. What tank is the worst for Mythic Plus? I don't think any tank is really that bad anymore. They did a good job at like at really easing out everybody. And most people nowadays, even though you don't have legendaries, they have a certain build for Mythic Plus. I would say the weakest tank for Mythic Plus, it also depends on the dungeon. There's some Mythic Pluses with a ton of magic damage. If you have a ton of magic damage, unfortunately things like warriors are going to be weak, because our self-healing is pretty bad. And then I get it, we have IP now, which sounds really nice for a Mythic Plus, but it's not as amazing as it sounds. Oh god, oh god. Okay, gonna delay that stagger a little bit. Let's purify that. Let's purify that. Oh man, guys, don't worry about it. I'm on a Brewmaster month. I'm not worried about it. Okay, my stagger got really heavy there. Let's try to keg smash, get another purify up. Perfect. Alright, we gotta get another ISB up. I did overcap ISB there, which is why I'm having a little bit of issues here with keeping a charge up. I need to purify this as well. Oh, we got a nice, really heavy stagger. Let's purify that. I also want to get out of that. That was a good, like, 100% at the end there. We were able to purify that, so 50% gone. You never played Demon Hunter and DK Tank. DK tanks are the strongest for Mythic Plus. That's something I will tell you. In terms of strongest, I can tell you. But in terms of like who's really weak for Mythic Plus, it really depends on the dungeon. Like I've ran some dungeons that have really heavy magic damage. Like the Motherlode has those Stone Shapers. Your warrior's gonna get destroyed by those Stone Shapers. But if you have a group that also knows how to stun and how to interrupt, you're fine. You're fine. No big deal. But yeah, it really depends. I would say the lowest Mythic Plus tanks are probably going to be Warrior and Druid. Druid because they don't always have like the mobility to run in, run out. Their cooldowns did get nerfed a little bit, so they do have a longer period that they're on cooldown. So you know you're gonna suffer a little bit of the consequences from that. But even then, like druids are still very strong. They have a very good toolkit, so you don't have to worry about things too much anymore in terms of who's the worst. I think paladins, as much as I want them to be really good for that, I don't think they're super amazing on Mythic Plus. Wait, what? I ran through that. Why? Oh, nice. Oh, it did go through it. I was like, why'd the fire disappear? Which it can, by the way, to be fair. The fire can disappear whenever it wants to. Let's combo into a keg smash. I definitely want to be comboing into keg smashes right now. Alright, let's get him to go in there. This, so he slowly buffs himself with a damage buff. And what you need to do is kite him into fire, and that makes his damage buff fall off. But when he does that, he also AoEs the whole group. So you don't want to do it too often. You kind of want to wait for a decent amount of stacks before you run into the fire. Or else you're just going to be DPSing the whole group by constantly AoE cleaving everyone. Nice, 20 item level upgrade. Warrior and Guardian Druid are terrible. so we have the same idea. I don't think they're terrible. They're not amazing. I don't know if terrible. But yeah, you guys can see with rushing Jadewind, I'm not going to have too much of a problem holding this threat here. Let's get an empowered ISB up as well. We can get a decent purify out of this. So I threw a, uh-oh. Is my group not with me? No, they were not. I was like, wait, I don't see anyone here. Because no one is there. This might be the death of me. I got a lot of dots on me in those few seconds that we should have been getting a lot of DPS in here. So that's not going to help. Let's also do that. So luckily, no death here, but I'm going to get enough of these maggots on me that we might be stuck constantly spawning them. It's one of the bad parts of these guys. They'll debuff people, and then that person will spit out maggots, and it'll just happen over and over again. We have one person with, or 2 people with the debuff, right? As soon as this falls off. Oh no, I guess it wasn't that one. DKs never die. It's very true. DKs for Mythic Plus, the best. Like, no question about it. Alright, so, let's back up a little bit. I saw that going out. I saw the AoE on the ground going out. Didn't want anything to do with it. Let's purify a little bit. Let's get a empowered keg smash going out here. Nice. Yeah, my damage taken per second isn't really going above like 5k or something like that. Okay, so let me do a decent pull. Let's do this. And let's run out. Alright, so now that we've got a really substantial pull, we should be able to like maximize our stagger a little bit more as well. So let's get that combo going. We've got a decent stagger here. Let's purify that off right now. I don't think it was going to get much higher than that. No, it really wasn't. 5k damage taken per second on a really big pull, especially for my item level. I'm what, 309? Yeah, and we're talking about something that drops 325. Alright. Yeah, in terms of like this stagger, I don't even know if it... Oh, it did get to moderate. I didn't think it was going to. But let's purify it. That was the end of the pull. DK isn't best in BfA Mythic Plus. You don't think so? What do you think it is? In Brewmaster? I really do think DKs are going to be the best because the great equalizer right now for all tanks is magic damage, right? Magic damage is the one thing that as a tank you're like, hey, if they scale up this magic damage, there's not much I can do about it besides rotating big cooldowns. Well, DKs have an answer to that. DKs have AMS. They're the only class with a 100% like magic damage mitigator. It has a cap, I understand, but it's still the only one that just does that. DKs also have a ranged interrupt, so when we talk about that magic damage going out, DKs can range interrupt it. DKs also have a grip, which can work as a second interrupt for that magic damage, and DKs also have Gorfine's grasp. So they have a lot to deal with what I would consider the biggest thing that's going to plague your tank in a Mythic Plus, which is magic damage. I think magic damage is going to be that one thing that on every tank you're like, this scales up too much, but it scales up too much in terms of magic damage. Like, I can try to heal as much as I want on my Demon Hunter, pop as many soul cleaves as I want, but there's only so much I can do. A DK will have those interrupts. So that's why I think DK is the best Mythic Plus tank. They've got 3 interrupts basically in the form of Four Fiends, regular grip, and Mind Freeze. They also have Asphyxiate built in now. So yeah, they have a lot of things to be able to stop that magic damage, and it's not as straightforward as you might think. It's not, hey, you actually have, you know, 4 charges of Mind Freeze. You gotta think about it a little bit differently, but I think that's what's gonna make them the best. Being able to just say, oh, that's still magic damage. Oh, that's magic damage. Oh, that's magic damage. It's fine. What trash mob do I have to be worried about here? Oh, you missed your stun? Don't worry about it. I have a grip. Oh, you missed your interrupt? Don't worry about it. I have asphyxiate. Oh, you missed it? Like, answers to that magic damage. Now, at the end of the day, I think right now, the way that the tanks are set up, the best tank for the content is going to be whatever tank you're most comfortable with, because most tanks, there's not a huge, great big disparity between them. It's not massive, but it's enough to make a difference. Like, I don't think anyone's going to argue the point that, like, hey, Demon Hunters are really good at raids. They're not. They're kind of weak. But if you're, unless you're doing Realm first, you can play a Demon Hunter in raids. You'll be fine. All right, let's get another stagger going. Nice. So we got a really nice heavy stagger going there that we were able to purify. Alright, so I want to try to build up another charge before I pull the next boss, so I'm not going to try to use another ISB charge. I just want to... The next boss hits pretty hard for physical damage, so this trash mob can hit me a little bit harder. That's fine. Nice. We got all our 4 charges. Do I body pull most of the time as Brewmaster? Most of the time as a Brewmaster, I rushing Jadewind before, and then I Chi Torpedo in. That being said, with something like this, I use Chi Wave. It's not the most optimal way of using Chi Wave, and what I should be using is Crackling Jade, but I found out that, like, the way I have my bars set up, I always set up my bars the same way for every tank, and most tanks only have 1 ranged attack, and like with the Brewmaster Monk I have 2, so I just set up my Chi Wave. I didn't set up my Crackling Jade. But yeah, if it has to be like a range pull, I'll pull with Chi Wave. It's not the most optimal way, but it's also not terrible. All right, we'll do a nice stagger here. That was a good like 25-30%, not bad. Let's get another stagger going here. I want a blackout combo before I keg smash. Another blackout combo before I do that. And let's stagger a little bit heavier. Hopefully I can get to a heavy stagger. There it is. Beautiful. I love seeing that heavy stagger now. I'll tell you what, the very first time I tanked on a monk, when I was leveling a monk when Moth came out, seeing heavy stagger used to terrify me. And I wanted, and even moderate stagger used to terrify me. I'm glad I'm getting more and more used to it. Alright, so this pull is going to be doing a lot of damage. I'm actually trolling? Who, me? Jason, you think I'm trolling? About what? Feel has nothing to do with performance. Never say DKs and DH can't tank. They just don't feel like tanks. Demon Hunters and DD. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, DKs are going to be taking a little bit more spike. That's just the way it is. But they are very tanky. They're still wearing plate. So even though they are taking more spike damage, they completely offset it with the amount of healing that they can do, because it is absurd. But they're not so spiky that, you know, you're just always going to be on the edge of your seat. They're still tanky. They're still wearing plate. But if you want to compare it to the other plate tanks, yeah, the other plate tanks have a shield. They're just going to be passively better mitigators. But then you start looking at their self-healing, and DK just blows them out of the water. So they just, you know, DKs are really, really solid, but they do take a little bit more spike damage, but they completely offset it. Statue is necessary to make good pulls? Not necessarily. I really don't think so. I have to disagree with that. I haven't been running statue, and I don't have that many problems with, like, placing a mob here or doing this, that, or the other. Like, I don't have any issues with not running statue. I'm running Rushing Jadewind, which is the reason why. Like, if I wasn't running Rushing Jadewind, I would completely agree with you that, like, you need statue, you need it. But with Rushing Jadewind, I don't have a need for it. This guy also not the heaviest in tank damage, because he does spend a decent amount of time casting and then summoning his ads. So yeah, not the heaviest tank damage here. So what I'm going to try to do here is prioritize my Blackout Brew keg smashes so I can maintain some uptime and then be able to purify a little bit. Not the biggest purifies, because again, this guy is never really going to... I'm not going to get to heavy on this guy. I'm not going to get to a heavy stagger. But I can try to push for a moderate stagger. Like right now, purify it. Now I'm going to need another charge. Just because, you know, I think the sign of a good tank is trying to minimize the damage you're taking in as much as possible. I realize that I'm still, look, the meters, I'm still only doing, or taking in 3k damage taken per second, which is very easily healable, but still trying to help out a little bit more. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? Gotta learn to tame its powers. It's deadly with the wrong people, but it'll sure clean wipe rip key mania. Yes, the statue I haven't done too much with, but yeah, it's a big threat bomb you throw in the middle of something. You think the term best is overused in WoW nowadays? The only reason you see DKs in Mythic Plus ranking is because fashion of the month? Not necessarily, Roy. I do think that DKs are best. Every time you have a list, you have a best, you have a worst. What really ends up mattering is how much better number 1 is from number 6, right? We have 6 tanking classes. So what really matters is the discrepancy, which, like, back in Vanilla and Burning Crusade and even Wrath of the Lich King to a certain extent, the best from the bottom could be up to a 10 to like 15% discrepancy in terms of how good you were at tanking or threat or taking damage, whatever that was, and that adds up. Nowadays, it's a lot smaller, and everybody can do the everyday content. If you're pushing for Realm first, you're for sure gonna try to, you know, crunch and like pull as many of those half percentages as you can. But there will always be a best, there will always be a worst. What really matters is how big the disparity is between best and worst. And nowadays, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But if you want to take a look at the biggest disparity I see, let's take a look at do Brewmaster Monk on progression raid tanking. Progression doesn't mean it's on farm. You're still trying to get that gear. Brewmaster Monk on progression raid tanking compared to a Demon Hunter on progression raid tanking. I think that's one of the cases where you see the biggest disparity, right? Brewmaster Tank, even though its progression is going to be smooth damage taken in, you can take those big hits, you can purify them off, your healers are not going to have a hard time. Demon Hunter on progression is going to be spiky. You really need to know the fight beforehand. On a Brewmaster Monk, you can see a brand new phase and be like, I don't know what's going on, let me just see. Oh shit, my stagger got really big. Let me purify it right now. I'll Black Ox Brew after that, get my charges back up. On a Demon Hunter, it's like, oh, that hit me for 80%. I no longer have soul fragments out. Shit, what do I do now? So there's differences and there will always be a best. But I do agree that there's a little too much emphasis put into what's best and what's worst. If you're doing LFR no more heroic content, which the large majority of people are, you'll be fine. Crackling Jade was like shift T on your Brewmaster. Yeah, that's, and it eats up my energy. It's like, what if I Crackling Jade a little bit too much, or I accidentally hit Crackling Jade in the middle of a pull and then I can't keg smash because I ate my energy. Yeah, there's a few things there. I'd rather just keep that off. Are Demon Hunter glyphs nerfed? Couldn't you also AoE silence and grip together? Glyphs? You mean Azerite traits? I don't know. I haven't played a Demon Hunter since the beta was actually an alpha, so I don't know what their Azerite traits are. Your raid team has 2 Demon Hunters that switch in and out based on availability. They're good tanks. Yeah, there's no problem with a Demon Hunter tank. If you're going into Mythic pushing Realm first, that's what I'm saying. That's when you're gonna get into some problems. Is there an easy reason why Demon Hunters are the worst tanks in raids? There's a few little things. I think the biggest reason, I think they're missing one more defensive cooldown. They have Searing Brand and they have Meta. Searing Brand is on a 1-minute cooldown. Meta's on a 5-minute cooldown. I think they need a little in-between one. Maybe a decently strong 30-second cooldown. Maybe a 1.5-minute or 2-minute cooldown. I think they need one more defensive cooldown. Like most tanks, you know, let's take a look at my monk here. I have meditation, I have fortifying brew. Like I have two, one of them. A fortifying brew is a huge one. Zen meditation is a medium one. But then I also have the way the stagger works, which can work as a third one. Warriors have Demo Shout, Last Stand, Shield Wall. Prop Paladins have Ardent Defender, Guardian, Bubble, or Lay on Hands. Like they have a lot more utility. They have a bop on them as well. Paladins have a little bit more. So I think if Demon Hunters got one more defensive that was anywhere between 30 seconds to 2 minutes in that range, you would feel better about using Searing Brand. Like if you got a 2-minute cooldown, you could use Searing Brand a little bit more and not have to save it for those big hits. If you got a smaller cooldown, you would use that instead of using Searing Brand. So I think Demon Hunters just need one more thing. And like their artifact ability was really cool and really nice, and it helped you generate soul fragments, which can pan out to either more healing or more offensive abilities, but it's not necessarily straight up defensive. Like the ability to heal yourself is defensive by the ability to recover, but what's really defensive to me, honestly, is not getting one shot or not getting hit for 80% of your HP or 60% of your HP. It's the ability to mitigate that damage to just be, instead of being an 80% hit, to just be like a 20-30% hit. So I think that's what it is. Demon Hunters are not good for raids. You can still make them work. If you're I'm telling you, if you're running LFR normal heroic, Demon Hunters are fine. We're 11-11 heroic with 2 Demon Hunter tanks. Yeah, if you're running heroic, you're fine. When it comes to mythic raid race, no. Yeah, well, that's the thing. All tanks perform in all difficulties. A lot of neckbeards think the guys at Blizzards wouldn't be able to perform. Yes, there will always be a list, no matter what game. This is independent of World of Warcraft. There is always a list to the meta things. There's always a list to what's best and what's worse. But for the large majority of the player base, that doesn't matter. Unless you're playing in a professional, very competitive, trying to be top 100 in the world in any case, that list should have little bearance on your choices. And for World First, every percentage counts, yes. With the Demon Hunter tank, you can't do content while undergeared. With Monk, you can, yes. Monk is the best for progression, raid tanking. Once you have something on farm, I would say Druids get up there. I would say the best for progression tanking right now are Druid and Monk. Not in that order, the other order. Monk and Druid. And then for farm content, I think you have Druid edge out a little bit more. And then you have Blood DK in there. And then Brewmaster Monk. Because once you're on farm mode, the what Stagger brings to the table falls back a little bit. It's still super strong, don't get me wrong. Stagger is always going to be very, very, very strong, but it does fall back a little bit because you already know the content, you know the phases, you know how things hit you. With the Demon Hunter tank, you can't do content. Yeah, one thing you hope for is that you can still do old raids for transmog even with the squish coming. That's another video I have planned. I just need to get around to it. Is it a fair representation if like 97% of all people Mythic Plus use DK? It's statistically expected that others tanks. And that's the thing though. Right now, the only thing that people see for Mythic Plus is like if you follow content creators on YouTube, you know, you have people who do different things. Like I was doing Mythic Plus every Wednesday on my Warrior, and then I slowly started doing it on my Demon Hunter. I've done it here on this live stream. I've done mythics on every tank except for Vengeance Demon Hunter. So if you follow like smaller niche communities, you know, you have the chance of seeing other things. But if all you watch is the MDI, you're gonna see Blood DKs, because Blood DKs are the best Mythic Plus tank, and those people are competing for hundreds of thousands of dollars, or for like $100,000 for their team, right? So when you have thousands of dollars on the line, I'm gonna pick the meta picks. So I think more people watch stuff like the MDI than watch someone who tanks M pluses like Shakib or like myself, or I don't know, Metro or Matskill, like any of these people who do Mythic Pluses on stream. less people watch that than watch the MDI. And at the MDI, you have people competing for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it isn't fair, but that's how the game goes. If you want to show the meta, unless like if Blizzard brings in more MDIs and more MDIs per year, like they have been doing. They started off with 1 per year. I think now they're sitting at like 2 or 3. But if Mythic Plus becomes a competitive thing to where there's tons of tournaments and there's more prize pool in there, then there's going to be people who try to go off meta. I think the biggest off meta thing we've seen in the MDI is Team No Healer. Like that was crazy to see. That also showed us how strong tanking was in Legion, because it was absurd. But you know, there's off meta picks, and the more exposure you have into something, the more off meta you'll get. With glyphs, you mean the ground effect, skillable in a talent tree, might be called runes. Oh, the sigils? Yeah, you can still do Sigil of Chains and Sigil of Silence. Something you can still do. Alright, this is heroic. I don't want to pull those ticks. When I was doing leveling content, those ticks, they're not too bad. But once you get to heroic, these heroic and mythic 0, these ticks are the worst thing on this planet. Just don't hang out with them. Don't pull them if you can avoid it. Hopefully, I see a hunter in my team still. Hopefully this hunter doesn't say, hey, are those ticks over there? I love ticks. Me and ticks used to hang out so much in college. Let's not do that. But the large majority echoes these meta lists. They're extremely toxic for the community at large. Yeah. The thing is, when you're asked, nope, don't MD those ticks to me. I'm gonna cancel that MD so fast. I don't want anything to do with those ticks. Thing is, when you're asked what is the best tank, there is an answer. There is an answer to what the best tank is. Now, the real answer is, with the content that the large majority of everyone is doing, it shouldn't matter, but it does have an answer. So, you know, that's what kind of makes it a double-edged sword. It's like, someone wants an answer. There is an answer, and people want the answer without, like, fluff or opinion. They're just kind of like, no, just tell me. What's the answer to this? And it's like, well, it's this. It doesn't matter, but it's this. And, you know, that's just, you know, most... And that's not the fault of anyone in particular. That's just how we all are. Especially like for me, if there's something that I don't know too much about and I just want an answer, I don't want people's opinions. I just want the answer. Shakib is the best Mythic Plus. That is, there would be no NA without Shakib. Yes, Shakib is amazing at what he does, and what he does is be an amazing Demon Hunter tank. So I agree. Shakib is a beast. The MDI are held at way lower levels than the highest run stuff. Right, yeah, they run like 21s, 22s with a decent level of gear, like 970 or something like that. So, yeah, I think when we talk about people like Shakib, I mean, they outperform MDI stuff all the time. But then again, he also has all the time in the world. You also have to think about like the pressure of performing when somebody says go. Yeah, so there's a few other things, but like I wish Shakib could have been in the MDI just because he's Canadian. He can't do MDI stuff. That kind of sucks. That feels not right. That the person who has pushed the highest key in the world, what, I think 3 times now or 4 times now, that person can compete in the most competitive format of that. Alright, let's run in here. Alright, I do need to pay attention for this boss. This boss drops a thing on the ground, and if I step on it, I'm dead. There's also a lot of magic damage that goes out. I don't want to step in that. That gives you a debuff. Let's also get rid of that. So the main boss can't be stunned or anything. Oh, this guy can't either now. This guy used to be able to get stunned because it was the ad. Huh, okay. Well, good to know. Alright, we're good. Stagger got only up to a moderate amount. There's a lot of like venom damage that goes out that fight. What are you talking about, Matney? Okay, let's not pull that. Don't MD that trash pull to me. That's a lot of ticks. A whole lot of ticks. We don't need to do anything with those ticks. They're a bunch of no good people. One thing that you guys are going to notice more in BfA. Oh no, they're the ticks! Okay, let's run in here. Let's leg sweep them. Let's throw a keg at them. Let's light them on fire and let's get the hell away from them. I don't want this debuff. This debuff is the worst. Okay, let's run through here. I got 7 stacks of the debuff. You guys want to see how bad that hurts? Oh god. Oh no! Look at this debuff. 30,000. Everybody's dead. Everybody in my group is dead. Cool. Oh, there it is. I'm telling you guys, those ticks are nightmares. Somebody, so what happens there, and it happens pretty commonly, is those ticks are barely out of aggro range, and then when you pull the pull right next to them, the pull that I skipped to, there's like these this ad called like a bloodsucker or something like that, and this ad targets anyone. Like it just these guys right here, these like bats, they target anyone. It doesn't matter who they target. They go around targeting anyone, right? So then you have like a ranged DPS who's not used to having things in their face. This mob gets in their face because they have no threat and they just run into people's faces. They freak out, they run into the ticks. It's a pull. It's this is gonna happen so much in this dungeon. The more I run these dungeons, the more I start seeing patterns of where body pulls happen. You're gonna miss Havoc, Demon Hunter Legendary Helm. Yeah, you're gonna miss laser beams. Just laser beams on laser beams on laser beams. It's like, hey, what are you gonna cast now? How about a laser beam? How about now? Laser beam? Laser beam. Let's do another laser beam? Yeah, laser beam. Freaking lasers! Alright. That always looked really cool, running that helmet and just laser beaming the whole time. It always did look like a whole lot of fun. But the problem was getting legendaries in Legion. I hated it. I hated it so much. Do I need this? Let's look. Where is my healer? He's got gear for me. Okay. Nice. Nice, we're gonna get upgrades. Slash bow. Let's do it. So you see there, I also use that chi wave as like an instant. Help me get aggro on this guy. Help me make my pull a little bit bigger without having to worry too much more, as opposed to Crackling Jade. Stand still, you know, use a little bit of energy for it. So yeah, I don't have Crackling Jade on my bars, and I gotta tell you, I really don't feel like I need it. So see these guys? You see how this guy has eyeballs on top of him? He's being chased down by the Blood Swarmer. There's nothing I can do about it. There's no threat. There's nothing associated with it. So that's why people run into those ticks. So now I've got my chi wave back up. Look at this. And just do this, and I can like top pull one of them. You love people playing alt right now? Yeah. The one thing that Legion had was it just wasn't alt friendly, and they took a few steps to kind of try to make it alt friendly. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. Even the artifact power catch up system. Artifact power was a problem, but a big problem was just the legendaries. Even if you increase the drop rate, it doesn't help me when I know that the first 2 legendaries are really easy. And then my first 2 legendaries are not best in slot by a long shot. They're just terrible. At that point, I'm like, why am I even going to play this class anymore? The next 2 legendaries are going to take me like a week each, and that's if I'm playing all the time. This is terrible. I hate it. So Legion had a few problems. This guy, by the way, now, if you guys saw that, this indigestion cast actually chases me where I'm standing. So that's not something that happened before. Before it was just like he would aim in one direction and you could sidestep indigestion. Not anymore. Alright. You don't want to step on this, Mr. Warlock? Oh, hey, look, we got one tick. I'm going to kill this tick. It is my priority because it's going to keep adding debuffs to me. Oh, hey, look, we got another body pull. Oh, man, you just got to love it, guys. You got to love it. Alright. What did I get? I got another belt. And it was Titan Forged. And this is an upgrade. Perfect. Uh-oh. Really, guys? So these guys do a lot of damage, so let me make sure I'm staggering my Iron Skin Brews as much as possible. Let's stagger that one. And by stagger, I mean the blackout combo stagger. And then let's stagger this one, get it real nice and heavy. And then purify that. And that was a good, like, almost 40% purify. I think it was like 38%. So, not bad. Damage taken per second, 5.6k. Lower than any other tank. I like this. It's just, you're just overpowered because you are who you are. And of course, if you compete for money, you take the path of least resistance. Yeah, I agree, Roy. But yeah, I agree that, like, you know, making these lists every single time, it's you know, it's one of those things that it's part of everything. It's just, it's not really going to change, because I'm also going to be making one of how I feel the top tanks are. And you know, I went through, I tested everything, so there's that. But I mean, still, it's going to influence people when you know, the large majority of choices are always going to be pretty good. If we were living back in the Burning Crusade and vanilla times, then yeah, certain tank classes outperform others by miles. The DK with NA is awesome tank, did great, yeah. There's, I mean, in the MDI, you can even see some disparity in the MDI, right? Because in the MDI, there was the test server, and you had to do time trials, right? If you guys took a look at those time trials, not a whole lot of people were running anything other than Demon Hunter. Demon Hunters dominated the time trials. But then when it came to actually competitive and competing for money, that's when people were like, hey, you know what? DKs are a little more reliable. With Demon Hunters, they're faster, but we could run this key as many times as we wanted to. And that's what made the Demon Hunter really, really good. That, like, we could run it as much as we could, as much as we wanted to. So we had the ability to just pump out these keys. But then you get into the competitive scenario where it's just a one-time key, and that's when you get into different things. But you can even see that Demon Hunters were amazing for those keys until it was like, that's just a one-time thing. It's a one-time thing. Alright, let's purify that a little bit. We're gonna get a few extra charges here as well. So that's gonna clear up those mushrooms. I'm gonna get another shockwave right now. I got hit by one of them. Not too bad. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna double up when I'm getting hit by. Let's do this, and I can detox myself. So that's gonna help out the group a little bit. They each took one less. In fact, I don't even think they took any of them. I think somebody else went to grab the other one. So at that point, we kind of maxed out our saving capabilities for the group. Let's purify a little bit because this guy's almost done. Might as well just minimize the rest of that damage. Perfect. RNG is, or ring is Brewmaster's best friend. The Lego ring. The hunter pet brought its tick friends. Yesterday I was running a freehold, and the hunter pet, the guy I think had it on like aggressive, In Freehold, at one point you go into an arena and there's a bunch of people spectating around you, but they're pretty far away. Like, if you want to pull them, you've got to be pulling them on purpose. This guy sent his pet on them, and then once we killed the first pack he pulled, he sent his pet on another pack, and it was just like pack after pack that we were getting. It was terrible. Okay, let's pull this. Let's pause the stagger a little bit. One more time. There's a nice heavy stagger. There's the end of the pause. Let's clear that off. We got up to like 90%. Oh no. What? Oh, that's why we're dying. Somebody pulled this guy. This guy puts a magic debuff on you that keeps stacking up every time you cast this. So I was taking 8k damage per second, which wasn't like extremely crazy high, but high enough. Because the healer also had to heal everybody else. You see that this hunter was taking like 10,000, was taking more than me. That's why we wiped. 90 plus degrees. Your AC is very welcomed. Yeah. Brian, you're a lumberjack. It's pretty cool, man. You're still undecided if you want to play Monk, Demon Hunter, or DK for BfA. We'll have to do some flexing for fitting guild groups. Tank, Demon Hunter, and Legion, but didn't touch DK. DK is good for 5-man content. In terms of raiding content, you need DKs every now and then. Gorefiend Grasp was super highlighted during Heroic and Mythic Agrimar and Coven. So stuff like Gorefiend's Grasp might have a place. But I think since Blizzard saw how big of a cheese Gorefiend's Grasp was in Antorus for those specific fights, maybe they'll design the fights a little bit differently. As of right now, the fights that I've tested, there's only one that Gorefiend's Grasp might be amazing in, but everything else is like, it'll be okay. With Antorus tier PC, the moment when you level up your second main for better best in slot legendaries, yeah, that's, you know, Legion's biggest mistake was that. So let's get this guy. Let's just kill him before we start pulling crazy. The Lego vendor is a patch too late. Yeah, I agree. All your plate wearers get the shoe Lego first. Oh, the boots. Agrimar Stride. What's up, Deatheran? How you doing? All right, let's get this pull going. Alright, again, let's get a nice little stagger. Let's interrupt that raised dead. A nice little pause stagger again. Another pause stagger. And then hopefully we can get a... Oh no, there's not even a need to purify yet. Alright, we'll get a purify going soon. There's a 70%. Perfect. Let's get another stagger going. We're going to get a purify very soon. There's a purify. Let's get a stun going. Oh, they what? They're immune to the stun? Did we stun them that much? Huh. Alright, let's get a pause stagger and then a purify. 6k damage taken per second. Not bad for this group. This group is very, very heavy physical damage. You're going to find that on most tanks you want to start rotating cooldowns. I pull this guy. He's not necessary. You can wait for him to pat. But, again, I've been running these dungeons so much, I already see what people body pull and don't body pull. This pull, you can skip the whole pull by hugging the wall. But somebody inevitably runs around this and around all the mushrooms and ends up pulling it all. So, I'm going to try to skip it all. But it probably won't work. So, let's see if they chase me. Alright guys, let's go here, please. Everybody, we're missing one person. Oh, see, he went around. He's gonna body pull something. No? Oh man, he got lucky. And please make it to here. Once we make it to here, we didn't body pull anything else. Okay, we're good. Alright, get some more ISBs going. These guys hit hard, but the confusing part is they hit hard and burst, right? Like right there, they were casting Maddening Gaze. They're not going to hit me. Right now, they're casting again. But then as soon as this goes down, they're going to hit me pretty hard. Luckily, we actually have really good deep, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Yeah, my stagger only got to like 15%. Ring of Peace? Yeah, Ring of Peace is nice as well. Oh, you were talking about not a legendary ring. Ring of Peace, yes. And there's always that guy who pulls 3 of them. Yeah. You were volunteering. Oh, nice. Very nice. That's cool, man. Heavy work, man. Heavy work. This heroic feels like a mythic plus 20. No, it's not too bad. I'm just explaining. I'm just over-explaining. A lot of it is for me because Brewmaster monks are like new to me because I honestly hadn't played them since their inception in MoP. So a lot of this is more like, yeah, look at how cool this is. But a lot of you guys already play Brewmaster monks and you're like, yeah, of course. Alright, yeah. Brewmaster monks are amazing. I knew this. Let's come over here and cleanse this off. And sorry, I'm not as chatty as I normally am, because I'm still learning everything. So we've got all these spores here, so I can just kind of like sidestep into them with Rushing Jadewind, and just pick them up casually. And we'll pick up this guy, Mr. Good Old Blood Visage here. No big deal on him. Oh, he's actually getting destroyed right now, so we're good. Let's do a final Purify to just kind of ease up. We're good. What was the damage taken there? 4.5? Easy peasy. In WoD, Gorfiend's Grasp was amazing, but then at the start of Legion, there was also very little chance for it to shine. Yes. Just let me throw kegs and kite again. Storms knocked out large trees and left some 5,000 to 8,000 pound limbs hanging up. Oh, jeez. That's heavy, man. I'm very hardcore with the warrior. I love my warrior. Love my warrior. I don't think I'll ever enjoy another tank as much. Although, you know, oh, I thought this guy was attacking the Horde grunts. I was like, how? Yeah, I really enjoy my warrior, even though like he's getting nerfed, he's getting, you know, tossed around by Blizzard a little bit. Oh, I didn't get to actually equip these. We got in combat too fast. 310. All right, we still got a little bit to go till we can queue up for a mythic, but we've got a little bit more as well. Warrior for life, ride or die. Yeah. Also, let me also change these weak orders real quick so I can share them with you guys. And this is not a keg smash cooldown anymore. It is now a transfer cooldown. All right, so let me move these around. So in case you guys are liking what you guys are seeing in these weak auras, and you guys can also see how I do things. So I'm just going to move them over by 10, just so that it's a little more straightforward. And we can move this guy, not this guy, this guy. Where is it? Here it is. Oh, I did the wrong thing. I lowered them by 10. Derp, 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 derp. Sorry guys, there's a garbage truck outside. I don't want to annoy you guys too much. Alright, X offset. What am I doing with my life? There it is. Another 10. And let's do an X offset here. Nice. Yeah, that opened up things a little bit more. Also, the height is a little off. What is the height of my other ones here? The Y offset is -33. As opposed to here, -37. Let's do that. things have to make sense. So I moved them up by 4. And then let's move this guy up by 4. And then I'll share these weak auras with you guys. Okay. So let me export this, get a paste bin going, just in case you guys like these Brewmaster weak auras. Since they're not completely finalized, if you guys also find something you would want changed or different, let me know. And it might make it in. Demon Hunter tested the other version of these weak auras yesterday, and he for sure had an impact on how they are designed. So let's do this. I should have done them during Legion, testing other tanks and such. Yeah, Legion was the first expansion I played in WoW in a long time, though. Like, as intensely as I did. On Garrosh Mythic, when our monk had to skill Brewmaster and Kite Mobs for days, they should add a warrior headbutt. Hey, I would like that actually. Instead of a dragon charge, you get a warrior headbutt. That'd be cool. That's what it is. So you know how like Ignore Pain is on the global? Keep Ignore Pain on the global, but make it so that when I ignore pain, I Hulk out so badly, I just rage out, and I'm so angry with being filled with all this rage that I headbutt my target. And it doesn't hit for a lot of damage, but it has increased threat multiplier, because even the opponent's like, what the did you headbutt me? Are you serious right now? Like, just make it have an increased threat multiplier, so that, you know, Ignore Pain is on the global. It's a little offensive, helps me generate a little bit of threat. It just headbutts. Just put your shield to the side and headbutt the target. Don't touch my dragon charge and add the headbutt. Yeah, the headbutt sounds really fun. Okay, I want to pull these guys now, because we don't have a pat. As much as my group might be like, yo, chill, relax, we're not all here. That pat makes it so that they all take 50% less damage. So it gives them all a shield wall. So I'd rather pull it now. Alright, now we can pull this guy. Sure, he's padding around. No big deal. I wouldn't pull him in a Mythic Plus because he wastes a lot of time, but this is just heroic. No more headbutts. Ooh, no. Never mind. Never mind. Croesus, you made that a bad idea now. Now I don't want a headbutt, because if a gnome warrior headbutts, it's gonna hit where the sun don't shine. Charge, intervene, high mountain bull, dragon charge, charging all day. Alright. So, rip FPS. A lot of magic damage with these guys too. This water blast is just taking its toll on me. The fact that you could stagger magic damage prior is insane to me. Now that I'm kind of like learning everything about, oh no, why do we pull this guy too? I'm telling you, this guy just gives the other guy a shield wall. So I'm going to try to separate them, but no, I can't. The other guy's a caster, so I can try to separate them. Come on, let's separate you a little bit. You're making the other guy take no damage. There it is. Now people can actually kill the other guy. Perfect. No more headbutt by being thrown by an actual warrior. Are you trying to say that Fury Warriors should be able to dual wield Gnome Warriors? Is that what you're telling me? I don't know, man. I think that might be a little racist in the World of Warcraft. However, it still sounds really fun. Oh, you're dual wielding? How come your weapons are so small? I'm actually dual wielding gnomes, and they're wielding the weapons, so that's why, you know. And it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you can get 3 food buffs at once? Yeah, it's great. But the only drawback is WoW automatically enables sound. It forces sound to be on, and I have to hear the gnome warriors make all their sounds. So, you know, I think that needs to be nerfed a little bit, but it's a give and take. I'm very strong. You can get 3 food buffs, but I have to hear a gnome talk and yell and enrage. Have you ever heard a gnome try to Hulk out and enrage? You don't want to. a lot of magic damage this dungeon. So I'm just getting knocked on my ass here. Oh, yay, ninja pulls, my favorite. We hadn't had a ninja pull yet. We were like 3 pulls in, no ninja pulls. I was wondering if something was wrong or like what was going on. Alright, so I blackout combo to the keg smash. I'm going to pop my transference there in case I need to kite again, which I probably will need to because things. I keep forgetting to change the key bindings of my transference as well. I want it on different keys. Alright. That pull was no fun. Mr. Spiritualist. I have 250% aggro on you. What are you doing hitting somebody else? That was not fun. I was taking a lot of damage. Look at this. Water burst. Okay. We'll pick this up. Please let them come over here. They're all casters. So I want to LOS them. Yes! More pulls. Pug life, extra sound damage, but it's self-inflicted. It's friendly fire. It's only you can hear the extra gnomes. Nobody else has to. Imagine that whirlwind with screaming gnomes. That's terrifying. That is terrifying. Two whirlwinding gnomes screaming. You're all for fantasy and stuff. How does a gnome warrior fight an orc and a tauren? Thanks for the sub, by the way. I appreciate it. How are you supposed to hit a gnome warrior? Like, he's just a ball of metal. And that's how they do it. Like, a gnome warrior, if they have really like smoothed out edges, like if their transmog is really smoothed out edges, you're not gonna land on hit. It's basically just a ball of iron that you're trying to hack and slash. You would need like a really nice heavy cudgel in order to even hit it, and even then you'd probably slip off of it. So orcs have more flat surface areas. You can hit their stomach, you know, you can hit other areas that are a little more flat, but a gnome is basically just an iron ball that you're trying to smash. That's where their defensive capabilities come from. Alright, so now we're gonna get all these ads. So let me do this. Try to get this guy. Isn't there 3 of them? There are 3 of them. Let's taunt that one just for a little bit. Kneecapping. They also hit you in the knees. You know, everybody used to be a warrior until they took a gnome to the knee. Please don't tell me I pulled. Guys, that was my fault. I didn't see enough body pulls happening. So I was like, hey, it's my turn now. I'll drop my Transcendence here, just in case I need it. Bad tank, I'm telling you guys. Don't ever run with this befuddled guy. Alright, I want to avoid this stuff on the ground that the guys are adding. Good, they're all gone. All the ads are gone. Perfect. My stagger also never got too heavy. So you're saying gnome warriors are the newest Overwatch hero? Oh, the little gerbil thing? Yes. The little gerbil thing in a mecha suit. So I haven't played Overwatch in a very long time. Is the little gerbil really strong? Is he OP right now? Because if he is, that's also hilarious. When I was playing Alliance, the only reason I ever wanted a gnome warrior was because I knew how much most of the Horde hated gnomes. And I was like, oh man, if I PvP them and I beat them, they're going to be extra angry. That's going to be hilarious. So if a tiny little a little guinea pig, a little hamster is the best at Overwatch. That's pretty hilarious. You don't even need to hear your opponent's nerd rage. You just know they are. You're like, I got beat by the hamster, and that's all you need. That's all the satisfaction you need in the world. All right, let's run in. Let's also get our ISB up. I want to get my, yeah, there it is. My combo keg smash, just to be able to keep all that up. But you guys can see, like, overall monks, no real problems holding threat, no real problems with damage taken. Magic damage hurts as it does with every other tank right now, but you know, pretty solid tank. And right now I'm only in the heroic setting. I'm not geared enough for mythics yet. Mythic will probably be on Wednesday. That's why I didn't put mythic in the title. I figured I wasn't going to get enough gear, and I haven't yet. I'm still I'm maybe like 3 or 4 upgrades away from being able to run a mythic 0, but I don't see things being too much worse in a mythic 0. A little bit more moderate staggers, which is going to be better for purifications, to be honest. But that's it. That's all I can really see happening from changing over to mythic. Come on, guys. Let's go this way. What's the best thing about a monk tank? Stagger. The best thing about them is stagger. The fact that I get to erase damage and pause it. Like, look. Pause the damage right now. Let's jump back in. As soon as the stun goes off, let's get a brand new Iron Skin Brew that's going to pause the damage on my stagger. And look at that. I never even got to a moderate stagger, but I can purify it anyway, maximize things. But the best thing about a monk tank is the overall, the damage you're taking is really low, and it's also extremely smooth. Now, it's really hard to keep a monk tank topped off at 100%. It's not impossible, but it's difficult the higher in content you get, because stagger's always ticking on you, but you don't miss it. You're okay with sitting at 70 to 80% because you know that it's not going to get much worse than that. They just roll out heals on you. Like, seeing my damage taken chart on this monk has been crazy. And I've noticed that, like, the better I get with handling my stagger, the better that chart is getting. So I think a really good thing about monk as well is you can play it at the lowest setting. Like, when I was leveling up, I wasn't purifying at all. Leveling up, I was a scrub. I was like, all I need is just to throw everything in stagger, right? And then once I hit max level, it was like, oh hey, I should be doing something else with all this damage. So that's when I started kind of aiming for higher staggers, aiming for better purifies, trying to get the most out of every charge that I'm using, and it really makes a difference. So there's a basic way that you can play a monk by just keeping up ISB, having easy cooldowns like guard, and just like very straightforward things, or you can get really heavy. So all of the talent choices in monks are a different playstyle basically. You can play with the statue for AoE threat. You can play with rushing Jadewind to depend on yourself a little bit more. You can play with healing elixirs to get back that self-sustain that you want. You can play with bob and weave if you want to mitigate the most constant amount of damage as possible. You can play with high tolerance if you just want to maximize as much as you can out of your stagger. Although blackout combo probably maximizes a little bit more, but a little bit more of a direct way of seeing it without changing your gameplay is heavy stagger. So it just seems like there's a lot of interesting choices, and they all work in the end game. Like, I'm sure I could run a mythic 0 with a lot of these choices. I'm sure it's no big deal. There's the hindering cleave, made me go up to a 40% stagger. If you guys remember, that hindering cleave completely destroys me on other tanks, to the point where I was trying to time my heroic leap charge around that hindering cleave. There's a hindering cleave and I'm pausing stagger. Perfect. Purify that off right there. I do want to step in here to cleanse off my stacks. Perfect. So yeah, the best part about Monk is the stagger. And stagger can lead to really good gameplay. It can lead to average gameplay. And the choice, it's all dependent on you. That's what I'm digging right now. Kind of like playing on a warrior. A good warrior knows when to demo shout, knows when to spell reflect, knows when to do all these things. A good monk knows how to delay his stagger as much as possible. Knows how to get to that heavy stagger. I'm not there yet. I'm slowly learning it, but I've been putting in a lot of hours in this tank lately, and I can see the potential for it being sky high. Like next hindering cleave, there it is, a blackout combo boosted ISB, and then I'll purify it right now. I'm about to get another charge. Let's cleanse myself in that. And I haven't had to use that reinforcing ward for myself for taking this hindering cleave because of how good stagger is. So yeah, stagger. Stagger's the answer. You have a problem? Stagger it away. Let me just do a little bit of recovery. I did have a moderate stagger there, and I don't want to use a charge right now because these guys kind of suck. Warrior tank is so fun and strong. Just need some self-healing spell. Yeah. If they take IP off the global, that's all we need. IP is a way of providing mitigation, and especially if it's off the global, it'll just be a really, really good way of giving us quote-unquote self-heal because it'll be a bubble. It's kind of like saying the old school way of disc healing. It was all bubbles, you know. Yeah, it's a way of avoiding damage, which is really strong. Let's stand right here. I don't want to hurt anyone. We've got two rogues. Oh, I guess he got hit by it. Okay, we are gonna have this guy who will pull. So what I really want to do is do this and then do that. Nice. So we are gonna get this guy, but at least I delayed it a little bit. But hey, you know, what would this dungeon be without a few body pulls? Oh man. Also, this guy, when he does deep smash, he does a really big magic hit. So that's also part of the reason why I wanted to avoid him a little bit, because he's full magic damage, and so was the caster. And then all the non-elite ads are not magic damage. They're all physical. So it was a lot of different sources that I'd rather just kind of delay a little bit. Let's get a keg smash going so we can kind of re-up our stacks here. Very nice. Stagger wasn't too heavy. No need to purify. Look at that thing. It's not landing. Okay. We'll run in here. There's going to be a lot of ads. I think they're trading. They were talking about boots and trading. Ring of Peace, stagger roll. Yeah. Ring of Peace is also very, very nice. Ring of Peace is what they were using to push that +16 in the BfA beta to avoid damage on like these ads that jump on everyone. So yeah, Ring of Peace, definitely also a very strong thing. You kind of gave up Brewmaster during Legion and picked it up again after playing it on BfA. You might have to be my main. You love Windwalker. You might have to try Mistweaver since you've never healed before. Mistweaver seems strong enough. It seems like it has strong cooldowns. So yeah, you should be fine with Mistweaver. I think Mistweaver shines a little bit more in raid healing rather than party healing, but I don't Mistweaver heal as a main. But I see them shine on the meters a little bit more in raid healing because of their I honestly see, this is how much I know about Mistweavers, because of their healing barfing. The heal that they do where they just kind of like heal barf on everyone, that seems really, really strong, and you get most out of it. You get the most out of that in a raid scenario. So this is going to be a lot of magic damage, so it's still going to hurt. The only thing I need to avoid is the what is it called? Not Consuming Void. Mental Assault. That's what it's called. And so we just got a stun on one of them. Now that means that some of them are casting it over here. That means I just saw somebody casting it over here. I want to back up. I'd rather not pull these guys together, but hey, that's not what we're doing today. Alright, so I see 2 mental assaults going out, or they're going out in this direction. So there it is. Alright, and then mental assault. I think we should be good. One of them might still go out. We might get one more on this guy who's got a little bit more HP. We should be good. They're fun and don't care about the global cooldown changes. Yeah, that's also another thing. They don't seem to be very affected. Stagger, then stagger, and then stagger wears off. Stagger again. Yes. That is exactly how you do it. It's just really, really strong. And again, I'll post the poll so you guys can vote to see if there's a... More and more I started seeing that a lot of you guys who are here, who are part of this community, love playing Brewmaster. I thought most of you guys were just going to be straight up warriors, but maybe warrior and Brewmaster tanking goes hand in hand. Maybe it's just one of those things, because I really am digging this. If we use gnomes as cannonballs, could that be considered smart ballistic missiles? Only if they're like gnome mages and have a high intel. Because if you use gnome warriors, we have no intel. That's not smart. You know, if you have a warrior, you know you have no intel. You run in, you charge in, you just hit things with your shield, and then you just go, ah, me shield tank. Alright, this is going to be a lot of magic damage as well for this fight. So we don't have to worry too much about the blackout comboed ISBs. It's not our priority. I'll try to maintain really good uptime on my ISB. You can see I still have a moderate stagger going. It's not amazing, but hey, and then it, you know, kind of falls off. So again, these fights are some of those that, like, I haven't purified. I'm still sitting at 5k damage taken per second. Who is MC? Here it is. We have to kill this thing on top of his head. This guy who has the thing on top of his head needs to collect all these orbs. So all these orbs are going to go out. They're just going to damage us. And this guy, there it is. He just got MC'd. What that means is that he is going to start casting on us and trying to kill us. So what I want to do is get all these things to go on him. So all these orbs, I want them to hit him, because if they hit him, they do damage to him, and they also stun him. Which I'd rather they hit him and stun him than me, because he's not on my team anymore. Alright, boss is dead. We got pretty low, but not too bad. But you guys saw that even though I got low, my stagger never really got above 40%, 42%. It just, we started getting more and more magic damage because of the MC'd person. So that kind of sucked. Warriors are street smart. It's true. It's true. Warriors grew up in the slums of Undercity. At least my guy. My warrior grew up in the slums of Undercity. Hustling people. Taking people's money next to the cockroach vendor in Undercity. Oh, by the way, guys, update. Yesterday I was up really late playing this guy and getting him geared out, and the spider came out again, and it's no longer a problem. So the spider that happened last live stream, it's gone. So one way to avoid these guys is to go down through here. If you go up through there, that's what happens. You just pull all these guys, and these guys do a bunch of shadow damage. It's just not fun stuff, and they will destroy you and your credit score as well. You don't want that. They do a little bit of physical damage, but you see my stagger's never going to get too heavy. Look at this. Look at this right here. I can barely hear you. Hopefully it's your speakers. I think so. I just checked my levels. They don't seem off or anything. Like, the game isn't too loud, right? It's not like the game is drowning me out. Imagine Zalath whisper to you with a dwarven accent. Oh no. Oh no. Let's purify that. These denizens are going to be hitting you hard, so that's a good thing. I like my heavy physical damage. Helps me stagger. Audio is perfect here? Okay. At least with magic damage, we have dampen harm. If it gets reverted back to a longer duration, Brewmaster shouldn't be terrible. Yeah, it's true. Alright, let's pull this. Cool, thanks guys. Alright, so the physical damage on the boss shouldn't be too heavy. It's mostly the adds that are going to be super heavy on the physical damage. This guy's busy casting half the time. Just like that. I believe these tentacles are also magic damage, but the point is you can dodge all those tentacles, so you shouldn't even be getting hit by that. This is when the heavy physical damage is going to start, right? So I should start seeing heavier staggers right now. Let's see. Yep, I already got up to a moderate. May or may not be able to get up to a heavy, depending on how good or bad I am at this. Ooh, almost. Let's purify that. Got up to 50%. At this point, I'm not going to take any more physical damage, so these guys just spend their time casting. And you just interrupt and they start casting again. They don't even melee. Perfect. And then he's going to summon a bunch of adds. There's the adds being summoned right now. So what I want to do is get away from all these adds. So come over here. If the add touches him, they blow up. There it is. There it is. Okay. But since he sits and like starts casting for a while, that's why the adds can sometimes reach him, even though if you're trying to kite him as a tank. You got to be a little preemptive on this. Alright, let's pause the stagger a little bit. Let's purify that. We have enough charges to be able to spend a purify on a low stagger. Perfect. Nice! We got some Azurite gear. Hopefully it's not something I have good crazy item level for. No. 25 item level upgrade. Very nice. Do we get traits? Do I have enough of an Azurite level for this? Very cool. Deals an additional damage, also grants an extra stack of elusive brawler. That's not bad. Release causing... no. I'd rather have something guaranteed rather than maybe you slow, maybe you don't. Who knows? I don't know. Cool. Oh, so how am I using blackout combo? I'll show you right now. Boom, Saturday, 11 a.m. Edge run, me, you, Horde. Be there, be square. Let me show you how blackout combo kind of works. Leave your house at 8 a.m. Won't be back till 5. What kind of competition, Brian? Do you mind me asking? You don't have to answer, but hope you don't mind me asking. Your holy pally on the Horde is 934. Ouch. Okay, so blackout combo. When I use Blackout Strike, it empowers my next ability. So, my Keg Smash... oh, let me do this. So my Keg Smash, you'll see here on the bottom right, reduces remaining cooldown of brews by 4 seconds. If I do a Blackout combo into a Keg Smash, it says an additional 2 seconds. Also, Breath of Fire can have its cooldown reduced by 3 seconds, leading to 100% uptime. And then Iron Skin Brew pauses stagger damage for 3 seconds. So, back to face. So let's do this. I taunt. You see how right here in the middle I have my Blackout Strike? If I use my Blackout Strike, I am now tracking my aura. So if you see here my aura, my next ability is empowered. So if I use Breath of Fire, Keg Smash, Iron Skin Brew, or Tiger Palm, I have an empowered version of them. So if I use Iron Skin Brew, I'm going to pause stagger for 3 seconds. And then I can get another Blackout combo ability. And then I can use this one for Breath of Fire. And then I can get another one and use this one for a Keg Smash. And then I can get this one and use it for another ISB. So that's the way Blackout combo works. You want to weave it into your abilities. So Like, let's say I've been doing pull after pull after pull, like in a Mythic Plus, just constant pulling. My stacks of ISB and Cleanse and Purifying Brew are running low. At that point, I'm going to want to prioritize Blackout combo into a Keg Smash. And I want to guarantee I do that every time, because it's going to lower the cooldown of my brews by an additional amount, which means that they're going to start regenerating a lot faster. And then, let's say I'm just doing a normal pull. I just ran into a group right now. I'm going to want a Blackout combo into Iron Skin Brew to delay the stagger, so that the stagger starts getting bigger and bigger without ticking on me. Since the damage won't be ticking on me, it won't be shrinking in size. So the stagger is increasing as I'm taking more damage, but it's not decreasing because it's not hitting me. It's intake but no outtake. So there's a lot of ways to use it. Also, if you use it with Breath of Fire, you have 100% uptime of Breath on Fire, and that reduces damage you take from the targets by 5%. So you can also prioritize Breath of Fire. I find stagger mitigates a lot more than a 5% Breath of Fire. So I normally combo into ISBs or Keg Smashes, but maybe I'm going to be wrong. Like, if we're talking about magic damage, that stagger is not going to do much for me. I should be prioritizing Blackout Strike into Breath of Fires, because that's going to diminish 5% from that source, whether it's physical or magical. He's jiggled. What? You got some serious lag on the video? What? Really? The delay is normally about like 30 seconds. Is there like anything super severe? I didn't catch up with chat till a little bit later. You shoot Olympic style air guns with Team USA. You're the match director for a specific club. Nice. That's pretty damn cool, Brian. That's really cool, Brian. Alright, let's do... I'm sitting at, what, 312. So a Mythic 0 at this point is 28 item levels above me, which is just pushing a little bit too much. If it was 20 item levels, we could jump in. But let's jump into another heroic, get some more upgrades. Blackout combo gives a good depth to the class, but guard seems like it's really strong, maybe even a must pick. Mind games, I was running guard, and here's what I'll say about guard. Guard is a huge bubble. You see that? It's a little bit less than half of my HP, right? At earlier levels, it's a little bit more, but it's a huge bubble. 55,000. The only bad part is about guard mind games is that guard lasts 5 seconds. So you can use it for stuff like raiding, where you know that boss is going to hit you at a certain amount. But when you're running heroics, mythic zeros, and even lower end mythic pluses, guard is going to have... You're not going to get everything out of guard. Guard is going to run out in time before that damage is taken. Now, if we start talking about high levels of Mythic Plus, where there's that boss ability that does nuke you, that's when guard can start getting into it. But right now, while you're leveling things, while things don't basically one-shot you, guard isn't going to be as strong as it should be. And by one-shot, I mean like the amount of damage that would one-shot you if you didn't have stagger as a mechanic. But guard's downfall is the 5-second duration. So you need to find places where you're going to take insane amounts of damage within those 5 seconds, but then right after that, you don't want to be taking that much, because guard is down for 30 seconds. So guard falls into a weird time. Like, you can't do a super big pull and then guard and be okay, because you're going to do a super big pull. That pull is going to hit you really hard for more than 5 seconds. So it's in a really weird place. As a raid cooldown for a raid boss, I can see it having really good potential. For this, I find it a little bit more difficult to find its place. I'm not sure if the big AoE fires on the ground are heroic or mythic difficulty, so I was gonna do a big pull, but I decided not to, because when you do that pull, these two pulls at once in a mythic, it's probably a wipe because of that. So I want to find out if it's mythic only, and it would be from the augur. Nope, it is heroic as well. So if I would have pulled the other group, that would have been a wipe there. Didn't realize it was 5 seconds. Must have been a recent change in the PTR. So I've been playing the beta. The old guard, when we talk about like the old guard back in WoD and stuff, it was the 15 seconds. But in the beta, it has been 5 seconds since it came out. So I started playing a Brewmaster and it was, you know, it was 5 seconds. I got a leg sweep off, perfect. It doesn't cancel what's already going out, but it stops more from going out of that fiery, of that infernal on the ground. If you Google Bag of Club, you'll see 4 pics of me on the bottom right. Oh, cool. I'm gonna do that once I'm done with this. They just have to extend the duration. Keeping it 5 seconds is a bug. I hope so. I mean, what I feel that they might do is they might say, hey, you know what? People remember guard. People want to run guard. So what I have a feeling that they're going to do more so than anything else is have an Azerite trait that increases the duration of your guard so you can have a guard spec, right? So instead of guard always being good, it's like, I want to farm out this gear to make guard good. It's gonna make you play a little bit more WoW while you farm out the gear. It's gonna help you change things up. So yeah, I think that's what they'll end up doing, is making it an Azerite trait. But as of right now, I still haven't seen an Azerite trait that has anything to do with guard. But yeah, if they want to... Oh, my healer died mid-pull. That's why I'm so low. But yeah, I feel like they either have to increase the duration on the talent point or create a way of making guard viable via Azerite traits. So either way, they need a different solution, because the 5 second duration does weaken it by a lot. It puts it in a place where it's just really good for like those boss fights where it's like, hey, this boss has that one hit that hits me really hard. I don't want to use fortifying. I could use a blackout combo to pause the stagger, but I'm still going to be taking that stagger damage. I'd much rather get a bubble that's about half my HP to kind of mitigate that. So that's the only place where this guard really lives. Alright, this is going to be a difficult pull. Good luck to everyone involved. I don't have my stun, unfortunately. Let's do another stagger pause. Let's do a purifying out here. Also, I forgot to drop my transcendence. That's one thing that I still haven't gotten very used to on my Brewmaster monk, is using transcendence as best as I can. I could be using it a lot more, and I know it. Like, I could be using it right here. Just do that, pop out. I do also want to change the buttons I use for transcendence and transfer. I meant transfer, not transcendence. Sorry, guys. Alright, let me get myself back up. I'm going to pull this, since it's a heroic boss and we're going to have ads anyway, I don't want too many things healing during the boss fight, so I'm just going to pull this. Also, one thing I really do like about Brewmaster monks that not every other tank has is the fact that your taunt makes the target run faster. That's so nice. So nice. Like, if they added that baseline to every other tank, to every other taunt, it'd be great. I'd love that. Alright, so I'm going to run over here. I'm going to sit on top of this throne of lies because we are going to get ads spawning here. So here it is. Here's one of the ads. I'm going to throw my stun out. Hopefully I get a keg smash going out soon. There it is. So a little bit of slow. Perfect. There's a transfusion. Let me run to this one behind here just to give this person a little bit clearer path, even though they decided not to take it. That's fine. We did our part. We did our part. Also, you don't want to get hit by these golden orbs. These golden orbs lower the damage you do and also do damage to you. It's a 30% nerf to the damage you do. And then it's also a dot on you. So it's pretty terrible. Alright, get a little purification going on that one. I had a decent moderate stagger on there. I had a 40%. Nice. Took care of that boss. And my damage taken. So low. It's really fun when you taunt something that's fixated on someone else. Oh yeah, no, don't do that, Alan. The dinosaur boss in here fixates someone else, and if you taunt that boss while that's fixated, yeah, that guy is just gonna catch up to him. Normally a body pull happens when you get right there, so I ran into that fire thinking like, oh, this guy's just gonna body pull. Wasn't necessary though. Alright, our stagger should be getting decently heavy on this pull. This pull isn't one of those that's like super magic damage. So hopefully I can get to a heavy stagger. Let's see. Doesn't seem like it. We'll just purify this because one of the targets died already. Tested on PTR. It's 7 seconds at the moment. Hopefully they see it your way. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's 5 seconds right now on this. At least it was. Oh, you know what? To be fair, mind games. The last time I was running guard was last week, and we have had the pre-patch build kind of start downloading in the background, so they might have changed the build a little bit and gone from 5 seconds to 7. I don't think it's enough yet, but yeah, that might be it. As per Wowhead, tier 7 talent appears to be reduced from 15 to 5. Oh, okay, so even WoW talent has, or Wowhead has it currently set to 5. So yeah, maybe the newest like pre-patch changed it to at least 7. But yeah, it's still not enough. I was saying last week I wish it was 10. 15 would be amazing. 15 would mean that you have decent uptime on it, right? 30-second cooldown, 15% or 15-second uptime. So you can maximize it pretty well. That makes it really, really worth it. Since it's a last row talent point too, I don't mind it being that strong. I don't mind it being a very strong talent point because blackout combo is, right? High tolerance used to be when you also had like magic mitigation there. I think high tolerance kind of lost a little bit of its luster, but that last talent row, I'm okay. I'm okay if this row is just 3 very strong choices for different reasons and in different ways. I'm perfectly fine with that. Alright, so this guy, I'm going to pull him here into this corner so we can LOS around this. Also, just one more time, if you guys do want to vote on that straw poll, I know a lot of you guys already have, but just a reminder. Alright, here we go. Alright, so again, this boss shouldn't lead to high stagger amounts because he's busy chasing people, he's busy casting. That's about as high as it's going to get, like 30-something%, so I'll purify that. Because right now, I shouldn't really be taking too much damage. We did spawn an ad, so unfortunately that's going to make me take damage during this time frame, but normally, I shouldn't be taking damage right now. Oh, never mind, I am going to be taking a lot of damage. We have 3 ads up. Alright, so let's get a little bit of a stagger pause going. Another stagger pause. Okay, we're gonna need to purify this. Alright, and again, at this point, we just spawned another ad too. Where? All these ads. You can do this boss without spawning any ads, by the way. Nice. Let's get a trinket. No. Alright. What is my tank list now? What are you talking about, GMath? In terms of what I'm going to be playing, or like what's performing really well? What list are we talking about? It's best to get eaten. I agree, Matinee. At really high levels of Mythic Plus, probably won't be. But right now, you can survive all of this. It's best to just stand in place, get eaten up, your healer just focuses you just a little bit more, and you're good. You walk away without any major injuries or any major mayhem to your group. Alright, we got the interrupt going on this guy. He probably should go down. So let's do this. I'm trying to pull like the rogues that are behind there, but they didn't seem to pop out. I'm not going to go chasing for them too much, because then I'll outrange my healer. I'll end up dying in this heroic. But I am going to stand here, so hopefully I do pick them up. They do pat around. So there it is. Perfect. Now my stagger should be getting pretty high. Let's do a pause stagger here. Nice. I have to do a stun out. Let's do another pause stagger. Blackout combo, keg smash, get my purified up. Perfect. Even then, I got up to a nice heavy stagger. 4.9k. It's crazy. Alright, so this means that all the totems have to die at the same time. Oh, we already started DPSing. Okay. The damage on this boss doesn't really go out till we hit the next phase. So I'm just going to try to maintain a little bit of ISB. If I can't maintain it as best as possible, not a big deal. Not a huge loss. He's busy leaping around. So I'm just going to try to mitigate the damage that way by just having him leap. I'm going to have to interrupt him this time. My interrupt is up. So let's just go here. There's a noxious stench. He's going to go around and leap again. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Second phase. So here's when we start getting into heavy physical damage, a little bit of nature damage as well. So let's just do a little bit of like those pause staggers as best as we can get them. Let's detoxify that poison effect on me, and just try to maintain a really nice stagger going. I'm trying to get the heavy, guys. I'm trying to pause it enough to get those big cleanses, but let's just purify this once already. Let's interrupt that, detox ourselves. Purify that. We're in a really good position right now. I didn't feel too much of a spike damage, and normally when I do that boss, if you guys go back and like watch some of the replays when I first started doing that boss and some of the other tanks, that's the boss that'll make you sit back down on any tank you're on. It's like, no, you don't know what physical damage is till you run into me. You mean which is the best tank list? I still think it's the same as last time. In terms of Mythic Plus, Blood DK can't be touched. And then underneath them, Demon Hunters. In terms of raid progression, Brewmaster Monks. In terms of regular raiding, I would say Druid, Blood DK, and then Brewmaster Monks right underneath them. But not by much. We're talking about Brewmaster Monk. Stagger is still really good for raids. But yeah, raid progression, you can't really beat Stagger. I'd say if you're focused on raid progression, you're probably going to be and worried about min-maxing everything, then Monk Druid. If you are doing more normal heroic mode content, DKs are gonna get you a lot of the way there. If you're only doing 5-mans, Blood DKs are going to be your bread and butter, or Demon Hunters. They're both pretty close. Alright, so one of the guys doesn't walk away from me when that debuff goes out, so I just have to be careful of that one guy. So let's also get this going. Also, one of the things I can do here is... oh, never mind. We don't have that many spiders out. I was going to say I can go pop the spiders for my group, but it's not super necessary right now. We don't have too much going out. Okay, so most of my DPSers are running away, but one of the guys is not. Please don't run this way. Okay, perfect. So I have to run away from them. Okay, this isn't terrible. If this was Mythic, it'd be taking a lot longer to take down these ads, but it's not Mythic. Ads and boss are going down pretty quick. Here it is. Here's the kill. Heroic tanking, or, you know, progression tanking, gear up tanking on a monk. Painless. Painless. In regards to fun playstyle, what's your intake? You find it difficult to pick between warrior and brewmaster? Yeah, no problem, GMath. Fun playstyle, I really like demon hunters. And the reason I like demon hunters for quote-unquote fun is because demon hunters, most of their, or all of their kit is offensive in nature, right? As a demon hunter, you infernal strike in, you immo aura, you have soul cleave, you have spirit bomb, you have fracture, and then you maintain your infernal strikes and your immo aura up. Like, all of your kit is offensive in nature, so you run in and you're just hitting things. And then demon spikes is off the global cooldown, so you don't have to worry about it. Just you know, have a decent uptime with it, know when to use it, when not to use it. So the kit of a demon hunter is very offensive in nature, and the tankiness just comes as a result of it. If you're being offensive on a demon hunter, that means you're generating really good soul fragments. That means you have 100% uptime on your spirit bomb. It means that you have really good AoE threat. It means that you're healing a lot by consuming all of your fragments with spirit bombs and soul cleaves. So demon hunter to me is fun because you don't have to think about being tanky in general pulls. When we talk about raiding, you need to know when to pop meta, you need to know when to pop your searing brand. So there's a few things here and there that you need to be very aware of when you talk about raiding. But like in 5-man content, a demon hunter is the most fun to me, because the better you are offensively, the better you get your priority rotation down offensively, the more tanky you also are. The more healing per second you're going to be doing, the more pain you're going to be generating. It's just like this really good loop of being up in people's faces. There's no point where you're like, oh shit, like I don't know. It's different than other tanks. And other tanks, like on my warrior, it's like, oh shit, let me just run away a little bit right now, demo shout for the rage because I'm running booming voice, and get IPs up on a distance. Once I have IPs, my healer caught up with me a little bit, you know, that's when I can jump back in. On a demon hunter, if you need to do that, you throw out chains and then you just walk away a little bit. You also have infernal strikes up. Even the retreating is it's a little bit more fun. I don't know. For me, demon hunters are the most fun, because if the better you play offensively, the better it is defensively as well. It's just one of those things where it works out really, really, really well. All right, what else do we need from like these dungeons? Rings and a trinket. 274. New weapon as well would be really nice. Okay, let's do a heroic that would drop a weapon. I think that would be Temple of Seth. Let's do Brewmaster main hand. So I think Temple of Seth, and yeah, we have the Temple of Seth one. Motherlode? Oh no, it's a Temple of Seth and Underrot, Told to Gore, Waycrest. Okay, let's queue up for one of those guys. Let's try to get a new weapon right now. Heroic. Temple of Seth, Underrot, Told to Gore, and Waycrest, right? Not Motherlode. Underrot, yes. Told to Gore, Waycrest. I mean, that's what I want. That's what I want right there. That's the weapon I want. Also, this transmog looks pretty cool. I like this this helm. Anyone? Bueller, who wants to heal me? I haven't gotten any. I haven't transferred, character copied any of my leather wares, so my leather on this tune, not very good. No good transmog options. I need to character copy like my demon hunter to get all my leather. You wish you could. You'd be healing me all. For sure, man. Have you played the beta at all, Brian? Nice. Underrot. Let's do it. I like the Underrot. Underrot's probably one of my favorite new dungeons. You can avoid the ticks. Decent amount of like, it's pretty straightforward what you do in there. I like it. I think the bosses are also pretty straightforward in the Underrot. Oh hey, somebody prepared a fish feast. Okay, we'll eat that right after this. Oh no! Take the barf to your face. Yeah, we'll stop and eat the fish feast right now. Nom nom nom. Yeah, again, don't hang out with those ticks. Those ticks will make you take out a second mortgage. They will lower your credit score, and eventually they'll have you like doing all sorts of illegal things like jaywalking and things. You just don't hang out with them. What did you miss? Tommy, you missed a lot of dungeons on my Brewmaster, man. You missed a lot of talking about Brewmasters as well. Let's interrupt that. So yeah, you missed just a lot of Brewmaster stuff. I got my Brewmaster to 120, so doing a lot of the Brewmaster tanking right now, getting used to it. I love seeing really high stagger numbers. Gotta tell you, there's something about chasing that heavy stagger that I'm really enjoying. Gift of Gahoon? No, let's not let you cast it. I don't even know what that does, to be honest with you, but I don't want you to cast it. Alright, we're gonna interrupt your magic casting. Perfect. Nice, we got a moderate stagger. It's probably not going to get any higher, so let's do that. Let's purify a nice moderate there. Yeah, ticks jaywalk all the time, and if you follow, you can also be in as much trouble as they are. Yep. You guys want to know why the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air got in trouble? He was hanging out with those ticks in the Underrot. I'm telling you guys, it's no good. Just don't do it. Alright, so we should be good. I mean, the stagger's not getting too heavy right now. These guys are a little bit more magic focused, the spirit especially. So, not much we can do there. This boss fight, we saw before. Magic damage, some debuffs, no biggie. Let's run in there. Alright, we'll interrupt the next cast that goes out. Oh, not that one. You can't interrupt Sanguine Feast. Alright, we'll interrupt this one. Let the cast get a little bit closer so that you... Oh, you don't want to stand on that creeping rot either. Here's the ad. You used to be able to stun this ad, but I guess not anymore. There's a creeping rot. Again, you don't want to stand on that green stuff on the ground. It's terrible. Also, Tommy, if you want to vote to see what tank I'm going to have as my second main tank in BfA, you are more than welcome to. I am really enjoying Demon Hunter DK and Brewmaster Monk. So I'm going to let you guys decide which of those you want to see the more in-depth guides on. So which one of those I'm going to focus to do more of the in-depth stuff, like the full talent reviews and priorities and, you know, those deep dives that I do really commonly on my warrior. I'm gonna start doing 2 in BfA, but I want you guys to have a say in it. Just, you know, what you guys prefer in terms of tanking. Sorry, Druid isn't on there, but just, you know, which tanks I find really entertaining to play as well. But the ticks gave me this really nice back of white powder. What does it smell like, nerds? Have you tried smelling it? I don't know what it is. You gotta use all of your senses on that. And then after you smell it, rub it into your gums. Ah, that's terrible. Don't do that, kids. Don't do that. Take that to the police station and don't do any of that. Oh boy, what did you come back to? It was all nerds. It was all nerds, Katie. He's the ne'er-do-well right now. He's a bad influence. You voted for Gnome Priest as my next tank. Funny you should say that. I have a priest on live called Melee Priest. That is the name of my priest. I used to do a lot of PvP on that. It was when disc was all bubbles. I was like, yes, I'm just going to throw bubble absorbs everywhere. No one's going to generate rage on my target. It's going to be like great. I love it. So I actually do have a priest named Melee Priest. But that priest is Alliance. Never again. I won't go back. Once I burn that tree in a few weeks, or in 1 week, that's it, guys. It's gonna change my life. Prop Pally. As much as I think prop pallies are very strong as well. But my co-tank is a main prop pally. So if I have any questions about prop pally, I've also, you know, when we were doing like Legion, we talked a little bit about like, hey, should we do like a tank podcast? And we kind of messed around with the idea, or we just kind of mentioned it to each other. So maybe, I don't know if he's listening to this right now, because he watches. If you're listening to this, Glock, maybe we can start a tanking podcast, and you can bring in your prop pally expertise. It won't be super long form either, unless there's like a special reason to do a really big deep dive, like a brand new raid came out. For the most part, it'll just be like weekly things that come up with tanks. But that's not a guarantee, since that isn't just on me. That's on my co-tank also jumping in there. Why would you take sugar to the police station? It's candy! Your two priests are named Flayed and Meecast. Nice. Horde life? Yeah, I'm telling you guys. Before, when I first rolled a warrior, so my warrior right now that is the undead, he was originally a night elf. If you guys go back into my channel and see like the video where I soloed a Mythic 0 boss when Legion first came out, I was a night elf warrior. So yeah, I was at first a night elf, and I thought, you know, night elves were cool, but I remember even back in those days, I used to watch the PvP videos of this one warrior called G-Force, and even though he was using like a hack to display his warrior as undead, and I think he was actually a Draenei, I just really liked undead warriors, and those PvP films of G-Force really cemented the fact to me that like undead warriors just look badass. So now that I went full Horde, and that's where I play now, I can't see myself going back to Alliance. I'm sorry. Even in Legion, I had an Alliance Death Knight. I had my human Death Knight that I was playing a little bit, and even then he was mostly neglected because I don't really play Alliance too much. I think the last time I logged into that DK was to run a key with Katie, actually, and I don't know if she remembers how long ago that was, but it was a long time ago. Since you already have a Horde Pally, Lock, and Shaman, think you should change one of your priests to Horde? Yes. So we'll have a befuddled community as well, and hopefully, if enough of the community is in there participating, hopefully we have a decent pug scene. I'm not expecting like anyone to be pushing Shakib level keys, but if we can get people on that community, they're plus 15 for the week, that'd be great. So once the BfA pre-patch goes live, I will build out that community channel. Because I'll be honest, I haven't really logged into live too much. Like outside of the stream, I've logged into the live on stream when the beta goes down, but outside of stream, I really haven't logged into live. You never go full Horde. Everyone happens when you go full Horde. You never go full Horde. Then then there's VHSs of you flying around everywhere going full Horde. You get known for your experience as a full Horde. Ray's dead. Nope. So that got up to a moderate stagger, but we actually, if you guys saw that, we had a lot of good stuns and knockbacks. But these groups with the skeletons are normally very physical heavy, which is why I prefer pulling this way rather than going the other way. The other way has more spellcasters, and it depends more on everyone else's interrupt. Going right is super heavy on physical damage, so it hurts as a tank, but it's more independent of the team. So if you do live that pug life, there's a different way of pulling these dungeons, because at that point all I need to do is interrupt raise dead and I'm good. Everything else can kind of go off and I can find a cooldown to rotate to survive that. But that's why I choose to go the way I go. It is a little bit more damage for me, but overall it's less reliant on other people doing, you know, certain things like interrupts and stuns and things like that. So let's get a shockwave going over here. This is going to be a really good shockwave, actually. I think it's going to get 4 of them. Nice. Got a decent stagger. I'm going to get my stagger a little bit heavier. Get a detox going. I also want to get the other shockwave over here if I can. No, I can't. Okay. So I'm also going to do this. Get that detox. So as a monk, you can detox the dot that these mushrooms give. So overall, what you'll see is that the group is going to get 2 stacks of the debuff. I can detox myself again immediately, help out the healer a little bit. Let's get some pause staggers going. I wasn't prioritizing that. I was more focused on like the mushrooms at that point. I think these mushrooms still blow up, by the way. I think we have to be very careful. Yep. They still haven't added the fact that the fight is over. This shouldn't blow up. Hey, who drops my weapon here? Unbound a bomb? I think that's the last boss. So it's okay. We still haven't had a chance to get the weapon. Okay, we're good. I was gonna say, did my weapon already miss? Did I already not get this weapon? I wanted it. You're trying to do the Brewmaster Mage Tower. Confirm that you suck at Brewmaster. I won't blame you, because I was using a lot of crutches when I started leveling. Like running that guard was a nice cooldown that to me was just kind of like a weird ignore pain. I was like, it's just like a really big ignore pain. So yeah, it's I think Brewmaster has a really big skill cap. And then again, I think some people might argue with me because of the dominance of blood decays, but I think blood decays also have a very high skill cap. Like the difference between somebody who's new to DKs and somebody who plays DKs all the time is pretty apparent in my view, because the person who's new won't be maximizing the use of their grip, of their Gorfine's grasp, won't be maximizing their blood drinker. Vamp blood also has really good potential, but you have to know that you're going to be using it frequently, and if you're holding on to cooldowns like that, I think it's the mark of like an experienced DK to a more novice DK. Dang it, I didn't sidestep that. But yeah, I think DKs also have a very high skill cap. When to use AMS versus when to use grip, grasp, mind freeze, asphyxiate. As a really good DK, you can perform way above any metric by avoiding all that magic damage, by knowing, hey, you know what, this person has one regular cast spell but also has a channeled spell. So I know that if I grip, I can cancel the channeled spell if I let it get 1 tick off, but then the regular cast spell, I'll just mind freeze it, and that's how I can interrupt it. Oh, we're gonna get another ad over here. Oh no, we did it. Perfect. So yeah, I think DKs and monks have the ability to have very high skill caps in terms of their kit and how you use it, and you have to have knowledge going into the fight in order to maximize your kit as best as possible. Looking forward to the community. Mind Games, there is a Discord right now, Mind Games, that you can join as well. Would you like the link to it? I can get you that link. Because I've been in that community Discord. Like yesterday, STL was chatting it up in there. I got home a little bit late, so I wasn't able to respond like timely to STL. But also I was like, there's been people who've asked for my weak auras, even though they know that they're not finished yet for beta. And so, you know, any questions, I try my best to help. Right now, my resources page on that community Discord is dated for Legion, so I do have to update it, but I'm not completely done with all my BfA resources yet, but I am working on them. So if you want like a place where you're going to have all those resources in one place when BfA launches, then, you know, you should join the community Discord. We got a decent purify there. My stagger was sitting at about 44%. Not the highest stagger, but still a decent enough stagger. I have a lot of charges right now, so I'm not going to miss that purification charge. And then this bomb should go down. There it is. Give me a weapon. Come on. Give me the weapon. No weapon. Why, Blizzard? My weapon's like 17 item levels lower than what drops here. Or no, actually 27 item levels lower than what drops here. Let's do this. Let me get you the link for the Discord community. Oh, actually, does this do it? This might do it, Mind Games. Give me 1 second. Let me see if that does it. Did that spam Twitch? Let me look. I don't know if that did spam Twitch. Here's the Discord link, Mind Games. I don't think it did. Although I think it's supposed to. You're gearing one priest and he's only 909 now, so it's not as easy as playing 962 Holy Pally. Yeah, not at all. Oh yeah, this isn't the right one. Okay, I'll fix that later. So which do I feel tankier on, Guardian or Brewmaster? Personally, I like the way that stagger works, but if you just want a straightforward tanky class that is just tanky, you're not really gonna beat Guardian Druid, because you go bear form and then your rotation is just do things that generate rage, thrash, mangle. Swipe doesn't generate mage, but you thrash, you mangle, and then you swipe as a filler, and then the only thing you're really going to be eating rage on is your Iron Fur. Like Frenzied Regen is 10 rage, that's not too heavy, and you're probably not going to be using Maul unless you're off tanking, but when you're main tanking you're probably not going to be using Maul too much. So I think Guardian Druids just feel tankier just as part of their rotation. If you have the want to play a class that has a really funky mechanic that is nowhere else in the game, then you're gonna feel tankier on a Brewmaster because of maximizing your stagger. But that's the thing, you have to maximize it. If you run in and all you do is cast Iron Brew, Iron Brew, Iron Brew, and you never purify, you never worry about blackout combo or anything like that, your stagger will make you tankier, but you'll eventually end up taking all that stagger damage. You're not going to be purifying any of it. You're not going to be completely staggering as much as you can. Having a Brewmaster means that you are actively trying to maximize that stagger so you can purify and erase a lot of this. So that's how you mitigate. In terms of the tank just feeling tanky, like running into a dungeon, charging in, and tanking mobs, yeah, you're not going to get much better than a Guardian Druid. It's just more straightforward. You go bear form, you just do things. In fact, if you really want to, and this is not for people who are doing mythic rating or even heroic rating, arguably, you can get away with this in LFR rating, normal rating, and mythic pluses, probably 5 and below. I'm pretty sure on a Guardian Druid you can bind Iron Fur to mangle, thrash, and swipe, and hit only those 3 buttons, and you'll still be doing pretty good. You'll be able to do normal LFR raids, maybe heroic, although, you know, at that point you're borderline pushing it. And mythic plus 5 and lower, it's just one of those classes where you can just do things like that, and you don't have to worry about it too much. This thing on the Brewmaster is definitely a lot more deliberate. It's a lot more like, I want to maximize this, let me get a pause stagger going. I really want to hit that heavy stagger before I get a really big purify going. So it's a lot more work on your behalf to be that tanky. Like, you really have to work at being super tanky and mitigating that much damage. I'm not saying that the perfect way to play a Druid is to bind Iron Fur to everything. I'm just saying for a decent chunk of the content that's out there, you can probably do it easy mode and do it that way. I really want to do this Warfront because I want to get a 370. Not yet. Another day. All right, let's do another dungeon. We did start late today, so let's do. Oh, I just selected under rot specifically, so it doesn't. I can random queue for it, but not auto queue. Let's do one of these guys. Actually, we haven't done Tol Dagor today. We've done Waycrest Manor, not Tol Dagor. Let's just do specifically Tol Dagor. Yeah, we haven't done Tol Dagor. We did the last boss. We found a group that just did the last boss. We didn't get anything out of it. Where does oh, my weapon drops from the first boss. You have all 3 of the plate tanks, but you want either bear or monk as a backup. Lugs, it depends. If you are really into your tanking spec and you want to you love playing that min-max potential, and you like, if you're rewarded by your hard work, Brewmaster Monk. If you want something that's more of an easy alt to have that you don't have to worry about too much, like you just log on to that alt and you're like, hey, you know what? Here's my alt. He's got gear on him. I'm sure he'll be tanky. I don't know 100% how to play him, but I'm gonna hop on and try to see how the second tank goes. As a second tank with minimal effort, Druid is gonna be really good for you. But if you want that high reward based on your playstyle, Brewmaster Monk. That stagger is going to get to a heavy stagger so quickly. Look at this. Oh, I'm going to get the most satisfying purify out of this. And that was a 60% purify. Oh, that was so rewarding. You see that? That was like one of those things where it's like a 60% purify means that I purified like, what, 80,000 damage just disappeared from my table. From my damage taken table. That's one of those things where it's like, yes, I did it. Alright, so at this point I'm running low on charges because I wanted to get that super intense purify going. Uh-oh. I was going to try to get keg smashes going, but I can't right now. So what I really have to do is get a leg sweep going here, and then get a purify and get a blackout combo keg smash. Okay, there it is. We're back in the game. We're back in the game. Damage taken per second is 5k. Is my healer AFK? Yeah, my healer's AFK. Right here. Here's my healer. We did that all without a healer. Alright. Not bad. Could you see Brew challenging Prot Warrior as my main? Yes. Yes. Now I know why Keggernaut was so in love with Brewmasters. That's what I'll say. Alright, so healer's AFK. That was some good purifying going on there. Let's just... Oh, we can't kick him out yet. Are you going to come back? If not, we got to find somebody. Oh, there it is. You went offline. Can't be kicked for another 3 seconds. It was 2 seconds before. Are you just adding time, Blizzard? He can't be kicked for like at least 3 minutes. What? Okay, we are gonna have to pull these guys too. Or actually, I can pull the Sand Queen over here. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, I can see Brewmaster challenging my main as a Prot Warrior. I'm digging this whole. It feels so weird to delete damage. You know, as like a warrior, you're mitigating it. You're like, I blocked that damage. That all went through my shield. That was me. And as a monk, no. You're not gonna MD right now. Healer's not even here. And as a monk, it's like, I deleted that damage. I purified that damage off. Whatever that means, that's what I did. It's a different feeling, and it feels very satisfying. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day it won't feel as satisfying and as crucial, but for right now, it just feels good to be like, yep, I just deleted 50,000 damage, which I understand is just part of the kit, and that's how they mitigate. They don't have a lot of armor multipliers. They don't have a stance or anything. Like, it just kind of is. But definitely feels very good. Oh, he's going to hit me. Cool. I prefer it when the boss does that upheaval on me. Just, you know, better mitigation on the tank. Alright, let's pick up these drones. I'm about to have a good purify here. Let me do a little bit more of a pause purify. There it is. 30%. Not bad. Weapon? No weapon, but we did get an upgrade, hopefully. Haste mastery instead of critical strike mastery. Yes, I want haste. You still take high tolerance? No, I'm running blackout combo right now. That's what I'm running right now. Brewmaster would have more sway with me if their transmog was better. You're not convinced of the transmog? Well, here's the thing. With the Brewmaster as a transmog, you can go through your backlog of like old school raids and get the druid gear. As long as it's not a tier set that's specifically druid, you can get all the druid and rogue gear. And I think rogues had really good transmogs. Druids had some that I really enjoyed, but rogues for sure had really good transmogs. And then you can also get the new demon hunter stuff. So yeah, you're still gonna get a good transmog. You just have to not hunt for specifically Brewmaster stuff, because a lot of the monk stuff has a tendency of looking like monk stuff. Like, you just look at it and you're like, that's a monk. I know. So you can definitely have a lot of other options by getting druid, rogue, and demon hunter gear. Compared to warrior, plate looks better. I agree. I'm also a sucker for plate, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am a sucker for plate. But I mean, like, look at this helmet. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's like it's got the pirate looking, the sailor looking hat, plus at the same time like a little veil. There's certain things that look pretty cool. I also think like the Blackrock Depths leather looks pretty cool. It's also like a white veil, but then finding things that mix and match with it, you know, takes a little bit more. In Legion, I didn't hunt for too much leather because my only main leather wearer was my Boomkin, and I ran Boomkin for him. I didn't ever run the Glyph, so I was never really transmogged. My Demon Hunter came in way later, and I found one set that I liked with him, and I was like, that's good enough. So I definitely need to hunt for more leather out there. Get BRF Mythic leather. I need to look into that. You'll see that you'll be able to buy specific legendaries on pre-patch, and a lot of world quests will give Awakening Essence instead of artifact power. Would have been nice. Yeah, there's a lot of things like we know Legion is over. I think they could have done a few more things to just kind of be like, here you go. Why not make the end of an expansion pack a playground? And they kind of did that, right? We had the artifact weapons get supercharged, and you do absurd amounts of damage. It was so absurd that Raider IO even started a new season. They were like, alright, this is getting out of hand. This amount of damage isn't normal. We're just going to start a new season so all these scores don't get all skewed. So I think the end of an expansion should be that playground, because as long as it doesn't affect things like the PvP season, right? So it should just be like, hey, you know what? You can go out and get all these things. No big deal. If you didn't play for all of Legion, here's Legion pre-patch, and you can just go crazy seeing as much Legion content as you want to in this month. So yeah, I think the end of an expansion should be a playground, which they did to some extent, right? By doing the whole artifact weapons exploding, being overloaded, but I feel like they could have done just a little bit more. I mean, it's only gonna be what, like 3 months when they were like, all right, this is the official release date. They had released it a little bit before. It had been teased as September, because certain countries you need to have a release date. Alright, so I want to LOS pull these guys, and hopefully they do. I did a Keg Smash on a Breath of Fire. I think that should be enough threat. One thing that I've also really liked about the Brewmaster is I don't have threat problems. I don't. So rushing Jadewind and just keeping a good Keg Smash or a decent Keg Smash and Breath of Fire rotation is more than enough to get you that threat. So yeah, there's a lot of things I'm digging about Brewmaster, and if they keep this up, also Brewmaster isn't really plagued with the whole global cooldown thing. Like, things just feel good. Your Iron Skin Brew doesn't cost a global, and that's your main form of mitigation in terms of like almost everything with mitigation. So things feel good, even with the global cooldown changes. Not super afflicted by it. Let's do a Keg Smash, get another charge up. We should be able to get a deeper Purify going, or a bigger Purify. But even then, even with this stagger at 30%, look at that, we're still sitting at like 100% HP almost with just a rejuve on us. No big deal. Alright, let's start building up our charges again. There it is. Our stagger's getting up now. I'm also really partial to tanking classes that have really good animations. And like Druid animations, they just kind of like paw at their enemies. The Mage Tower animations are definitely better. But the Monk animations are really, really cool. I do like that. Like Breath of Fire, Jadewind, that all feels really solid. So I had to step out of that. We had like an AoE explosion under there. It's a little hard to see some of these sometimes. But as the expansion goes on, we'll get more and more used to it. Nice. I got a nice heavy stagger. Nice. And again, that was a very big pull, and you can see that just with a few hots. I think Druid healing is the best partner for a Brewmaster, because your stagger is effectively a dot on yourself, and Druids have hots, so they counteract your stagger really, really well. So you can see that like this Druid has no problem keeping me up. Throws a regrowth, throws a rejuve, life bloom on me, and we're good. We're good. We don't have to worry about anything. Let's hide from those daggers. Don't need to take that damage, so we won't. There's the fear. We'll go ahead and interrupt it. So light brewing is better now. So since I'm not a main Brewmaster in live, every now and then I mess up my stacks. Light brewing gives me like a small little handicap into, hey, you know what? I messed up my stacks, but I have so many of them that I don't have to worry about it too much. Like, I have overcapped the duration of my Iron Skin Brew, and that's just because, you know, this is the first time I'm tanking on a Brewmaster month, and so light brewing is definitely my handicap. It's not a bad choice at all though. Like it definitely gives you enough charges to where you can do a lot with it. We're about to light or purify that. We can purify again. We just finished the boss fight. Black Ox statue does more threat than you do, at least last time you checked. I agree. There's a lot of people who swear by the Black Ox statue, and it has a low enough cooldown to where you probably don't have to worry about it. I really like the rushing Jadewind. It's also going to give you a little bit more deeps rushing Jadewind. But yeah, the statue is going to be generating more threat, especially if you have like a focus target on the statue once you deploy it where you focus taunt. But I'm not having threat issues. If I did have threat issues, I would absolutely be running the statue. But for right now, I feel like I do a good enough job as just a Brewmaster tank by myself at holding that. But yeah, if I was having issues, yeah, the statue will will probably be putting out more, because I think the way that statue works is it's doing constant AoE taunts. So if it's taunting off of me and I'm taunting off of it, those taunts end up multiplying, because the aggro just ends up becoming over 100% every single time you taunt. So it's just going to end up becoming very, very high. Alright, wanna take care of this guy first. No healer? I don't think the healer's here. No, the healer's in another floor. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, healer, where are you? And yeah, if I was running statue right here, that would have saved my life. But hey, healer, how you doing? Okay, if healer doesn't come back by the next pull, we can just start a kick. All right, healer, you coming? Nope. Oh, there it is. He went offline. All right. Is it like a certain boss has certain things, and then they're like, I didn't get it, I'm leaving. Druid, resto. I mean, I don't think you're gonna be crying for pants or cloak. Maybe they just decide it's time to leave. Do we have... Oh, we have one trash bowl. I think we can do this. Yeah, no biggie. Look at that. A little bit more deeps here. Doing the blackout combo into the tiger palm. It's not going to result in a whole lot of deeps, but hey, it's enough. What we can actually do as well... We don't have to pull that one. That flamecaster doesn't have to be pulled. We can pull this one here. And then LOS. Nice. There it is. Alright. So yeah, that guy, that flamecaster we don't have to pull, and that should be far enough to where we don't get in combat. Right? Let's see. No combat? Oh, I'm in combat. Okay. I'm gonna have to pull. I'm gonna wait for Chi Wave to come off of cooldown. Let's do this and this, and we should be okay here. Oh, we had a little bit extra. Not too bad. Is everyone here? No, some people ran away and pulled. Oh, hey, we have the cannon here as well, so we can actually kill that previous pull with this cannon, except that this cannon does friendly fire, so you don't want to shoot your friends. You don't want to be standing in your friend's line of sight. So I'll lock that person there just so that the cannon guy knows to like aim there. Oh, hey, somebody broke him out. Okay. There it is, in that cannon. Perfect. I think the healer's in the cannon. I'm not receiving any heals again. Alright, go for it. Moozgoon. No, this is not the healer. Where's the healer? Oh, there it is. There's a heal. What? We got more people? Alright, let's go. Come on. Oh, I see another person down there. It must have been like a hunter pet or something. Ran over there and pulled the rest of them. Got a little bit of magic damage going out there, a little bit of that fire damage. Oh, I think everything just got really bright, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Okay, I'll change it. I'll change it after this. And there's a friendly fire. Avoid it. Alright, we're good now. He should be able to shoot that from here, yeah. And he should be able to take it down before it even gets to us. Alright, try to avoid that friendly fire. But it's definitely a lot of damage. You see that doing 40,000 damage. So even if that friendly fire hits you as a tank, it's still way too much damage. Taking 40,000 damage taken per second, you'll go down to that. Oh, the hunter did pull. He said that his game crashed and he pulled. Okay, let me fix this. There you go, it's a little bit better. Alright, so again, you don't necessarily need a tank for these pulls. If your tank runs in there, you're going to be getting cleaved by all this. So I'll try my best to kind of do a little bit of threat generation, but there's no way I can out-threat someone who does 10 times the normal amount of DPS. Just trying to throw stuns out there, maybe some barrels. But there it is. Last ad. And then we have 2 bosses left. And not too much trash in between the bosses either. This is one of those dungeons that doesn't have like a crazy amount of trash, which I enjoy. Can we grab it right now? Oh, we can. We can even move it. I can move it out of the room? Hey, I don't want you in this boss fight. That's actually pretty cool. I don't think that's intended. I don't think that's how things are supposed to go. But hey, you can move the barrel out of the room. This one's gonna blow up. No one's really going to go pick it up apparently, so we're just gonna have to avoid it. And then here's a fire going out. It's gonna hit everybody actually. There it is. And the only way to avoid this damage is to stand in this corner because we didn't save the barrels. So, yeah. Still not terrible. This boss isn't too bad. There's a cinder flame. It's going to attack this way. It shouldn't hit anyone. Oh, hey, my healer's dead. Alright, so I'm not taking the damage right now. Vivify a little bit. And expel harm. We're good. He did get a B-res right now, but we're good. Survived. And still no loot, which means we're almost guaranteed loot on the last boss. Actually, wait, we got loot from the first boss. That's right. That's right. It was the same item level, but different prioritization on stats. And we need a res, and we're good to go. This guy as well needs to be kited, so let me actually do this. Transcendence. So this guy might even get us to a heavy stagger if we're not careful. You can see there we got to a moderate stagger just from regular tanking. What's up, Coma? How you doing? Oh, I messed that up. So what happens when you don't have your normal key bindings like I do in live. How's Monk treating you? It's good, man. I'm really digging Monk. All I've been saying today is look at my damage taken per second. Look at how like low I'm, or how low I'm not getting, really is the right way of saying it. But like Monk tanking, really good AoE threat, really good damage taken, and building up all those big staggers. I'm digging it. I want to kite this guy down here. Is someone still in the weapon? Yeah, perfect. That gun does like 10 times more damage than you normally do, so regardless of where you are, that gun's gonna do more. Or regardless of who you are, what you play, that gun's gonna do more damage than you. So best way of killing this guy's kite him to the gun. You're trying to pick a main for Mythic Plus and PvP. You're stuck between DK and Monk. M plus and PvP, yeah, those are definitely DK is gonna be your strongest choice, I think. Alright, let's run in here. So I'm gonna turn my back here, and that's just so that when he knocks me back, I don't actually go too far, mitigating a lot of that poison. It's not necessary for heroic, it's more necessary for mythic, but that is definitely going to be helping. Uh-oh, I think I'm not standing in it. Yeah, I wasn't. Okay, good. That's the only part about standing in this corner. Deadeye, not Deadeye, the cross ignition looks a little funky. Alright, he's targeting me with this. Let me step away from the group. Hopefully people kind of walk away from me. I'm in a decent corner here. Uh-oh, a lot of people got hit by cross ignition. We have a lot of people down right now. I guess it was just a ton of damage that went out. Okay, we're gonna take this for whoever's supposed to be getting hit. Please don't hit me here. Oh, I went down anyway. Went down to, I mean, not much. Explosive burst 16k. It was just a lot of people. Oh, even the healer said that was my bad. Yeah, it was just a lot of people got hit by that. You have to get going for dinner. Brian, what was the name of the club again? Just one last time. And I'll see you Wednesday, man. You have a great weekend as well. Have fun at your competition. I wanted to Google it, but it's really in the backlog. So if you're still here, Brian, I'd like to know what it is. All right, let me just have it open. All right, Brian. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by again. I appreciate it. All right, let's do that boss again. Shouldn't be too bad. We just gotta not stand and stuff. Am I posting my content on YouTube? The link doesn't work. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. What link are you talking about, comma? I can read chat from both Twitch and YouTube, but I'm streaming to both right now. What link are you looking for, comma? I can help you out. Alright. He said, how about dragging him into a corner? Guys, I was dragging him into a corner. This is where I was tanking from the beginning. Alright, just make sure I'm not in there. Cross ignition right here. Nice, okay. Knocking things out. Nobody died to that one. Oh, I think maybe people died because the healer could have gotten stunned by poison. That makes sense. Not necessarily cross ignition that killed everybody, but a lack of heals because the healer was just perma-stunned. You guys can see my stagger doesn't get too heavy in this fight either. Cross ignition should be right here. Yep. My stagger didn't go up a crazy amount, so yeah. I did one purify there. We're getting really close to like the end of the fight, and my purify wasn't getting even moderate, or my stagger wasn't even getting to moderate, so I decided to do a lighter purify there. Let's get a blackout combo keg smash as well. Perfect. Not bad. What did we get? What is that, a belt? A trinket! I needed that. 274. That is a huge upgrade. That's what, 40 item levels or so? 40, 41? 51. That's a big upgrade. Let's jump out of here. Comma, what link did you need? I can hook you up with the links, my friend. I am 317. I am 23 item levels below what Mythic 0 drops, which means I'm just about ready for it. We can start doing the Mythic Zeros soon. Soon, TM. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today. Again, here is the poll if you guys would like to vote again for what tank, what's going to be my second tank. My first tank is going to be my Prot Warrior. Me and my prot warrior go way back, and so I won't be dropping my prot warrior, but you guys get to vote for the second tank. I'm really digging this Brewmaster, and right now Brewmaster seems to be winning by a large margin, but this vote's going to be open for a little while longer. After this Brewmaster, we do have the Vengeance Demon Hunter, so I still need to level up a Vengeance Demon Hunter, but next week on Wednesday, I'm going to be ignore my lack of English. Next week on Wednesday, I am going to be doing mythics on this Brewmaster Monk, and honestly, it looks like if I can do a mythic 0, I'll be able to do some mythic pluses as well because of the how powerful Stagger is. So next week, Wednesday, join me for mythic 0s on this Brewmaster and mythic pluses. I am going to have no problem jumping into a +2, +3, maybe even a +4, depending on how much gear I get from here to Wednesday. So yeah, that's going to be Wednesday's stream. Again, if you guys would like to join the community, there is a community Discord. It is just linked right now, or there it is. It should be linking right now. There it is. And yeah, if you guys haven't voted, there's the voting as well. Shout out to all you guys who come and support me, all the patrons, all the channel sponsors, everybody who donates, everybody who tunes in here and chats with me and keeps the conversation going. If you guys are patrons or sponsors, make sure you message me. And Julia, I need to get to you right now and add you to the Discord if you are there. So I'll get around to that, or I'll get to that today, and then you guys are getting your exclusive content in the form of the dungeon guides as soon as I complete them, as opposed to on launch day. So look forward to that. And also the more I test weak auras for other classes, the more I'm going to ask you guys for help if you are in the community Discord. So if you are there, make sure to keep an eye out, or come ask me for the these like beta versions of these weak auras. I have no problem sharing them yet. They're not finished. I mean, this one is arguably the most finished, and I'm really happy with the monk ones, but I know the other ones aren't finished yet, but I'm working on finalizing them. All right, guys, I will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you for spending your Friday with me. Everybody, have a good weekend. Just completed your Windwalker Tower. Nice, nerds. Still got to get the tank one. Good luck, man. Good luck. Everybody's saying that it's way easier with the statue. Hopefully you're using this. Not the statue. Everybody's saying it's way easier with this guy. With the angry Oxman. So maybe run that. Yeah, no problem, guys. I'll see you all on Wednesday.